what it takes.
Tits what it takes.
What are they? I don't know. Fuck, I gotta close that other door.
Oh, fucking hell. Got to close the door again, have you?
Roach, close the door.
Roach.
Close the door.
Roach. Is Roach in this one? Because this
I
is.
don't think so.
Because this is technically like. I mean, I don't know because I haven't played it, but like the Modern Warfare 2 campaign felt almost like a rehash of like the old school Modern Warfare 1. And then this one, at least characters wise, seems to have more elements of like the classic MW2.
Story wise too, like there's a part in the story where they're like, Makarov let some nukes fly, like you know, in the original Modern Warfare 2, like you go, there's that like sub base mission, and you go, and then like the nukes they get launched, they get launched from the submarines. It's something like that, but you like go to a base, which honestly, that mission was super fucking cool.
Okay.
Because you like drop in and you have your own like spy drone, and you can like, you know, you can click back and forth through the spy drone. You can see where the fucking all the enemies are at, and you just go through hella stealthy. You have like a fucking
silenced submachine gun or something.
You have like a silenced like M14 or something like that, or like a single shotgun.
Little marksman rifle.
A little marksman rifle, and then you have a pistol, and you just go and you like, that's like a really stealthy mission that is that I think is really good. Granted, I haven't gone through the rest of them. I'm sure.
Do they still do? Is no Russian in the game?
There's like a version of it.
It's not the same though.
It's not the same.
They couldn't do it nowadays.
No,
it would be too crazy.
Yeah, you for sure can't. No. Like
that's mass shooter simulator right there. You can't do that. Yeah.
But what a crazy like. Isn't that like one of the first missions in like Modern Warfare 2?
That's like mission number 2, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe number 3 or something. But yeah, you play like the prologue in the snow when you're playing as Soap and Roach. Mm-hmm. And then I think immediately after that, or maybe that's MW3. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I might be getting mixed up. Anyway.
I don't remember the MW3 campaign too much.
Me neither. I just remember that Soap dies and that the last mission is fire because you get to play as Captain Price in a fucking Juggernaut suit. That's what I remember. Yeah. That shit's tight as fuck.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. Just that sentence alone is epic.
But yeah, like in this you have, you know, Ghost is obviously there. You have him from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Price is there. You have Soap there. And then you have your cast of characters from like Modern Warfare 2019. So Farah shows up.
I remember her. She's like the resistance leader, right?
Yeah, there's that dude. What's her homie? I forgot her homie's name. He's like the sniper. His name's like Riley or something like that.
Is the Mexican homie back from the first game? Or the second game, I should say? He was tight, bro. He was probably my favorite character.
I haven't seen him yet.
Damn.
He might make an appearance, but no, I have not seen him yet. But yeah, that fool was fucking tight.
He was one of my favorite characters in the last campaign. He was awesome.
Yeah, it's just like me and Danny were talking about the Modern Warfare 3 campaign before.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, hello everybody. 2i4TV, where 2 guys get 2i and talk about a little bit too much TV. This is episode
80.
Number 80.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah, we're getting there, bro. We're getting there.
Well, we're long past being senior citizens, but you know.
Exactly.
But now we're getting real old. This is where you start worrying a little bit.
Yeah.
80 years old.
Yeah. My children are going to have to worry about, dang, we're going to have to put these fools in a home?
Exactly.
I would hope not. I would hope my children wouldn't. I would hope they would take care of me.
Yeah, I would like to. It depends on the home, honestly. Because like sometimes I've seen homes that look pretty tight. Like if it's a choice between, I mean, obviously this won't make real sense to me until I'm older. But if it's a choice between sitting at home all day and basically just like waiting for a family member to come check on me like before and after work versus like a place where there's a bunch of other people my age and there's activities and stuff that we can do, it doesn't seem that awful. But again, I'm sure my perspective will change once I actually get to that age.
Yeah.
But like now, thinking about it from this point of view, it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I want to be around a bunch of other old fuckers just playing bingo and shit all day long, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably a pool. They fucking bathe you and wipe your ass and shit. Like, hey, man.
I'm down.
I'll take that.
Teach their own, man.
Why
Teach
not?
their own.
Why not?
Exactly. But I don't know. Like, if it's like the home, like Happy Gilmore's mom has to go into.
Yeah, because you have
That'd
a fucking Ben Stiller motherfucker in there and shit. Yeah.
She's like, fuck you.
Yeah. No, that would definitely be bad. Yeah.
Not that one, but yeah, a nice one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Modern Warfare 3 campaign was what we were talking about. I've been playing it. Pretty cool. There is an aspect to it that I was telling Daniel and Diggs, who was going to join us in a bit.
Hence the other microphone.
If you could see us if you're watching.
We didn't just set it up for fun.
Yeah. They're like, these guys really want the essence of like a third person there. But I think the Modern Warfare 3 campaign is something people are either going to really like or just really just not like. And I don't think there's going to be any like in between I think for the most part, at least like discourse, like on the internet, like public discourse wise, there's probably a lot of people that are like, I'm kind of just whatever about it. But I think there is going to be a great majority that either hate it or love it.
Yeah.
And that is because there's a lot of missions that, if you do play it, you'll find are called weapons-free open combat missions, which they basically drop you in and say, hey, here's your objective. Here's the story that you're going through. We need you to get to here, to here, to here. After that, you're going to do some shit. But yeah, you can kind of do it however you want. Drop you in with your guns. You can be stealthy. You cannot be stealthy. You can find more guns. You cannot find more guns. Whatever you want to do, just go about the mission.
So there's only select missions that are like this? Not all of them are like that?
Not all of them are like that, but I would say there's a good majority.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
More than I would like there to be.
If it was the minority of them, then I feel like it would probably be more acceptable. But yeah, if it takes up most of the mission slots, then that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it feels like it's like trying to be open world, but not open world at the same time, because you are just confined to like where the mission is at.
World, yeah.
But I will say, like, it is cool. It's different, like, being able to really roam around in a Modern Warfare campaign, whereas normally it's, like, very linear, and you're going from point A to point B to C to D. You know, you're doing all of that. You don't really have time to, like, oh, I'm going to go over here, or I'm going to go over there, you know?
Yeah.
This you really do. I don't know. It's cool to use your, like, parachute in the campaign as well.
Cool.
You know, you can get up somewhere super high and, like, jump off and, like, fly with your parachute to another part, which is, you know,
cool. That's fun.
Cool. You know, it speeds up the mission a little bit, but again, like, it is what it is. It's a hit or miss for some people. I think some of the missions are cool. I think some of them I could do without. I think a big part of past Call of Duty games is the linearity in their story and their ability to tell really good stories and have these really good action set pieces that like elevate the story up a whole lot, you know?
Yeah.
And I think this game is just kind of missing that a little bit. Like, it's cool to kind of do whatever you want, but also, I don't know if I go to the Modern Warfare campaign to just do whatever I want.
No,
you know?
you go for the set pieces. You go for like the blockbuster,
and I'm just gonna do whatever
Hollywood
I want
moments.
within that. You know?
Exactly. Like, that's the thing is I think is funny is it's like, not that there wasn't as much freedom, I would say, for sure, but you could not. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking here, but I feel like it wasn't incredibly super limiting in the old ones, you know, like
no,
it probably wasn't as open-ended as like sneak if you want or don't do this or that. Like, you would get forced into certain scenarios for sure, but
or like, hey, you got to hold this down. You're stuck in this plane and you got to hold off the enemies that are coming through.
But
that's, that's classic. That's pretty cool.
The thing is it's like, that's why I keep coming back to like, is the door open? I think Diggs is here.
I don't know.
That's what I wonder, and that's why I keep thinking, like, maybe it's a little bit of a half-baked idea. Oh, hi. Welcome in. What a grand entrance.
Hello, everybody.
I like that sweater, dude. The color's already good enough for me, but the fact that it has Tom and Jerry on there with 3 eyes, what's going on there?
I don't know. H&M thinks they're fucking...
Their third eyes are
They're
open,
psychedelic, bro, or what? Yeah,
They
I
took
like
mushrooms and they're like, hey, we understand each other.
I have a hat of yours that honestly should have just stayed here. I'm thinking about it.
Oh, the Jack Skellington?
Yeah. It's at my house. Yeah.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah,
How are
guys,
you?
Diggs is here. You already know. He's joining us. Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
We're talking
He's here.
some
He's there. He's
MW3
everywhere.
campaign.
He's
Talking
Diggy
about what?
Barnes.
MW3 campaign.
Oh, how is it? You said that the people might be mad about it. Why?
It just okay.
Seems
So
like
what
it
we
kinda
were,
sucks.
what we were discussing. You want to drink?
I also do would like it.
Yeah. Can you turn the headphones up over there too? Yeah, he's on. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
I think we just gotta get slightly closer to the microphone.
Get intimate with the microphone. This is an ASMR episode.
Do you want lime? Do you want strawberry?
Put the lime in the coconut.
Yeah. So what I was telling Danny Boy is, with the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, there is quite a few missions that are weapons-free, open combat, which is they drop you in. They say, here's your objectives. You got point A, B, C, D, or whatever the objective is for that mission. Yeah. And they drop you in, and it's just like, okay, go about it how you want to go about it. You know, you have all your points that you have to get to. Here's your guns. There's enemies around the map. You can be stealthy. You don't have to be stealthy. You can kind of do whatever you want. Just
Like
complete the
open
objectives
world.
for the mission.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What I wonder is it's like, and it's like who wanted that, you know? Like we were just saying before you walked in,
that's
it's
kind of
like
not FPF. I mean FPS.
yeah, like shooter campaign.
Yeah, I thought what you were gonna start describing right now was like a new form of gun game. Is that what they used to call it? Where you start off with the revolver, or you start off with the knife, and then you get the revolver, and then you get the desert eagle.
Yeah, it's like random. Yeah.
No, why?
What I was telling him is
Call of Duty is interesting.
What I was telling him is I think what they're trying to do is like integrate a lot more of like Warzone and stuff into Call of Duty, or at least into the campaign, to I think just get.
I'm on break right now.
Yeah, is just to get people a little bit more familiar with Warzone. You know, not that people aren't already, but I think
I don't know shit about Warzone. Warzone came in like after I stopped playing CODs and stuff.
Yeah, so like in the campaign, like you'll pick up like vests and you'll get like armor. You'll get the armor plates, so you fill them back up and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. Adds a little bit more health to your campaign missions, makes them a little bit easier. You know,
I feel like that's something you could just put in the missions. Though,
is it just like is Warzone like team deathmatch, but like with survival mode kind of?
No, Warzone is a battle royale, so it's like Fortnite and all that other stuff. It's just Call of Duty. Basically, what battle royale is that there's a gigantic map and there's like fucking 50 to like 100 players or something like that, and there's a ring that is a different excuse in every version of it that closes so that it forces every player to slowly get closer and closer to each other.
Most of the time it's a deadly gas that's closing
some kind of gas. And so you have to it is survival at that point. It's whoever's the last team standing or the last man standing, whatever.
It's Hunger Games, just Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So, hey.
Dude, I have like 4 boxes.
I was gonna say,
that's where I got those from.
Yeah, Buddy brought one to the house one night when we were all over there, and I forget what. It was for my dad's birthday, I think, and like literally, he's like just walked in with a pack of lighters and was like, "Here you guys go,
happy birthday." Yeah. There was like because, do you know the story behind those digs?
They rebranded or went out of business.
Yeah. So this company basically went out of business, and they were in like a section of the building right next to like our inventory room. And like, so that shit was just empty. And I guess we, or like our company acquired the space. And then they're just like, here, there's shit back there. Just take whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. And there was like big ass shipping containers, because there's a warehouse in the back. And there's just big ass shipping containers with just a bunch of shit. And one of them had just a bunch of these lighters. So we all went and I swiped like 4 of them. And each box
has refillable. These ones will last you forever.
Exactly.
Clipper lighters are my favorite.
Each box has 48. That's freaking 100 and 70.
Like 4D8 right now, like
4D8, baby. Roll for initiative.
48.
Clickety clackety, I roll for attackety.
Yeah.
192. There's 192 lighters that are all refillable. So essentially,
that was some good math.
I'd never have to buy a fucking lighter.
That was some good math.
Dude, I'm pretty good at math.
That was pretty quick.
I loved math in school.
Did you now?
Yes. I liked the freaking.
No, I hated math.
Me too.
Like when we had to do like the timed freaking like multiplication freaking test and shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I was fucking
just smashing them, bro.
I was also like I'm also like can be pretty competitive, especially when I was younger. I was like trying to finish that shit first and like be the first one.
Be the winner, dude.
You know what I think is kind of interesting about that is like I sucked at math. I hated math.
Me too.
I managed to stop math at geometry because I was like so stupid when I started freshman year. I had to take 2 math classes my freshman year.
Yeah.
So I got 2 years of math in 1 year.
Yeah, because I remember when we were now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you are required to take up until algebra 2. But when we were all still in high school, it was only geometry. That was the cutoff. At least at my school, I only had to go up to geometry.
But I always
I feel like at my school I had to go up to algebra. I can't remember.
Well, algebra 1, yes.
I think algebra 2 I had to go.
Okay,
they put me in algebra 2, and then my counselor was like, "Well, you already have 3 years of math, so
you good.
You don't really need to." And then I was like, "Well, then take me out."
Yeah.
And she was like, here's the thing, I can't take you out unless you're struggling.
You're like, I'm struggling real hard.
At this point, I was already like going home on lunch breaks to get stoned and shit like that. So I just used that as an excuse to not show up to 6th period.
There you go.
And then
I
was
struggled
like,
so hard.
I'm failing. Can I get changed out? And they're like, oh, well, you still have to take the final.
That's
so I was like, not the final, but like the semester or the quarterfinal.
The midterm.
And I remember I was like, yeah, there you go. I remember I walked into that class for the first time in like 3 months. And the teacher looked, she was like, well, look at who the fuck it is. She didn't say that, but she was like,
might as well have.
She was literally like, what are you doing here? And I think I remember telling her, like, they told me I had to take the test before I get switched out of here or whatever. And so I was like, I'm just here. And I think I actually just...
They're like, you need to follow through with your failure.
Yeah. And you know what? And it brings me back to already the initial point I was trying to make is like, I did so much to avoid doing math because I didn't understand it. It made me feel stupid. And so I couldn't do it. And I didn't like feeling stupid, especially because I excelled in other parts of school like science and history and English. Like, sit down. Like, I didn't even need to attend class. Like, I saw it once. I don't know. Language is just, movies and comics.
Sure, yeah.
It comes second
English
nature
is
to us.
always easy, yeah.
Yeah. History is fun. too.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
But the stuff that like is essential that you learn in algebra 2 and all that kinds of stuff, the parts that like help you navigate like day-to-day life, just like calculating percentages and stuff in your head, I kind of just figured that all out like afterwards. I definitely didn't learn it at school. I definitely fucked off the entire time and bullshitted it, and then just somehow managed to just figure it out on my own.
I feel like
school's bullshit is what I'm trying to tell you.
School does suck. The way that school is, I think education is important. I think the way that the school system is set up is bullshit.
No, you should go to school because also it just teaches social skills.
That's true too. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that comes there.
I had a pretty bad wake up call like maybe a month ago. Not that I didn't already know that I was bad at math. Huh?
Is that like a Bigfoot on your hat?
Oh no, there's a monkey. I bought these. Yeah,
it's a monkey.
Quick story time. I have 3 of these. There's a monkey, a pant.
No, this one is a USC Trojan.
Trojans.
Oh, okay.
I have a monkey,
condom.
a panda, and I have a sea turtle. And it was an Instagram thing that I got suckered into. You buy the hats, and there's a little pendant in here that you can scan on your phone, and the proceeds go to like helping out the habitat or whatever of like these people and stuff.
Okay.
The story about this is I also succumbed to capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
And was at the USC game, and they had I was like, fuck, I gotta get some gear. Gotta
have something.
I was down.
Yeah.
Granted, I've also been a USC fan since I can remember as a little kid. Since I was like 8 years old. Wanted to go to USC. Didn't end up working out, but hey, I made it there one day. Right?
Yeah, you still got there.
So I was like, fuck, I want some gear, and then. You see USC bookstore, you're like, fuck, that's the place to go, right? So I fucking went there. I was like, hey, let me get that shirt. Cool. I saw that hat. I was like, let me fucking get that hat too. So I got both of them.
I'm a sucker for this color hat too. Like I just really like the cream. I feel like it's a nice neutral color. Yeah, it's good. It goes with practically everything.
It's not like you don't feel like it's fragile like when you get like something
white. Yeah, because that's you gotta keep super clean. Yeah.
I bought a white fit the other day. Like it's a white.
All white.
No, it's white and black.
Mostly
white.
Okay.
It's a white
it's tough.
It's a white. It's like just not a whole white fit.
Sure.
I bought a white, not like pants and shoes and all that.
That's what I was thinking. I had you. I had you head to toe in white right now, dude.
No, so it's just just a sweater without the hood.
Okay.
And it's white and it's got like a little design. It looks like he reminds me of Waldo, like some dude on there, and he's in black and white. And then I bought a white hat that has like a black peeking out. It's like it's like a Zoomies brand. You'd see it on there, but it's like
has good stuff.
White and white, and I haven't worn it a single time.
It is, yeah. Hot Topic is the same thing. I feel like they have good shit in there too, but like
they're also not really big people friendly, so I have a hard time. I'm right there at the cusp right these days, so it's like I'm usually ranging like for Zoomies in small plate, like cute little fucking hipster areas and stuff like that. I'm usually the last or second to last,
like sizes
that they carry.
Yeah,
but also I'm not gonna fucking get caught paying $80 for jeans.
No, it's crazy, dude.
So Target pants are good.
Target does have
Target
these cargos from Target.
These are
I wear some khaki cargos.
We're all wearing Target
from Target.
I have a bunch of shorts that I just got over summer that were Target, and they're fantastic.
I got 2 pairs of shorts from Target. Went to Target one time. The shorts were buy one get one free.
Yep,
crazy shit.
Yep.
I think the
Target shorts are nice.
I think the cargos were like buy one get one half off or something like that, or they were like hella cheap.
You're wearing my work pants, bro. I wear those to work. I actually wear those exact pants to work.
So I bought these. I have this pair. I have a khaki pair. I also have a gray pair.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
But I
have
do
the gray pair as well.
But I do fuck around, and I do for sure go to Levi's and get pants for sure.
I am down.
Like a nice pair of some 501s. Like
I'm down for a pair every every 5 to 10 years. I am down because the thing that is good about Levi's is it's real denim, so it'll actually last you. Yeah, like you'll have those jeans for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're just also like not supposed to wash them, which is crazy.
Yeah, they're not supposed to wash denim at all.
Okay,
I never knew that.
Not like never, but just not like.
But you're not supposed to like wash them in the washer. You're supposed to like spot clean them and stuff like that.
Okay, unless you're
because if you wash them in the washer, it wears them down and all the threads start to come out and shit like that.
100%. I feel like pants in general, unless you're getting nasty in your pants. I usually get a couple uses out of my pants.
Oh, they certainly don't need as much maintenance as like shirts or like under stuff. Yeah.
I wore these pants yesterday.
Unless you got some swamp ass, which in that case,
if you put
wash
them
your pants
through it,
if you take off your pants and it has like either the crease lines from like around like where the leg starts from the butt, or they're just a little damp.
Yeah,
those need to go in the wash. But also hoodies. Hoodies. You wash them so many times, they get shrunk, they ruin. Yep. They become nothing.
It's a bummer.
Hoodies.
So you wash them and you hang them, bro. You don't throw them.
Yeah,
in the
you don't dry them.
Yeah,
that's
but like that's something.
And that saves the color too.
But that's something that you can do like out here in San Juan. Like I don't know. I feel like in the city, when you don't have that space.
You need to have a backyard or something.
Like if I hang my clothes outside and they fall, they're falling in dirt and mud.
Then the whole process is ruined.
Yeah,
you gotta start it all over.
Also, you deal with sun fading. That was also.
Or you just get like a little rack that you can have inside.
I guess. Yeah.
I get like a little rack and I just like put it right there.
Put it right there.
Yeah. I guess.
You know.
That's just too long for me.
Yeah,
not gonna
that's also
lie.
what it is too. I'm lazy.
Good,
I don't even like to do laundry as it is.
See, like I was very much was like, fuck, I'll just throw this shit in the dryer. But then like, yeah, I noticed the colors start to fade, and I'm just like, damn, like I don't like, you know, especially like nicer things. Like now, like I've gotten some shirts recently. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna throw these in the dryer. I'm gonna fucking hang them out and just gonna let them air dry. And that's the way it is.
I definitely.
And if I'm gonna let them get the wrinkles out, I'm either gonna iron that shit, or a hack. You take a hot shower, you take your shirt in there, and the steam just releases all the wrinkles.
I did that one time with like when I had like a work shirt, like a nice button-up shirt, and I didn't have tie. Like it was definitely wrinkly. I was like,
or take some ice cubes, throw them in the dryer, throw in your clothes to the dryer.
Oh, because then it'll steam it.
Steam
as well.
Steam it up.
I do notice that my clothes get worn like a lot quicker because I'm so lazy with the way that I like wash and dry them. On top of that too, I fucking hate folding clothes, so my clothes stay in my hamper and I just pull them out of there and I don't really care, because that was the point I was getting to. Is it's like I was talking with Ev about this today, and like
there's also the clothes that you just don't care about.
Yeah, and I'm just not really super concerned with like my appearance when it comes to my clothes. I think you gents know that. Like I'm very much just like throw on a pair of pants and whatever shirt is clean and I'm good to go.
I think you're like me, where the clothes stay nice clothes for like a couple of wears and then they just become everyday clothes.
Exactly. Like I'll care about them at first, because I will go to the store sometimes and be like, yo, I really dig this shirt, or I really dig this sweater, or I really like these pants, and like like I'll wear them out to like, you know, an event or like a date or something, and I'm down, and then they just, after like that second or third time I have to wash them, I'm just like, I don't care anymore. I'm not trying to take care of this. Like, I don't know. It's just not one of the things that I.
Anyways, Modern Warfare 3 will never be. Modern Warfare will never be what it was.
No. The old campaigns are always going to be.
I don't know. I don't do Fortnite. I don't do any of that. So
I like Apex.
I'm a little bit sad, and like I'm glad that you said what you said earlier about it too, or even also in what you've been saying in text, because that doesn't interest me at all.
Have you played?
And that's good. And that's
because me, Modern Warfare, for me, the only purpose for me to play it would be nostalgic, and that just seems like complicated and something new.
The one that I
will say though, the Makarov character, he's fucking badass.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad they got Makarov.
Like he's fucking sick, cool. And I will say the story behind him and all that shit is really fucking sick.
You should
the cutscenes
still play
are really sick, but
MW2, I think.
Dude, yeah, the Modern Warfare 2 campaign,
like as soon as
Blasphemy.
No, if that goes on sale, it's really good. It's the best.
Reiteration of the
aside from Doom, because I think you know this, and I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but the Doom games are really good, like the redos of them.
Yeah.
Aside from those, it is hands down the best FPS campaign that I've played since the old days. It's pretty fucking solid, bro. Yeah. It's really good.
It blew me out. Insane. I remember playing it and I was like very surprised by how much like fun I was having.
It's pretty damn good.
It reminded me a lot of like just old classic days, and like I remember playing like the Modern Warfare 2 and like the mission on like favela where you're like running through and everyone's like shooting at you. Like there was a lot of missions that reminded me of that, like really intense, high stakes missions.
Goes back to the blockbuster style, like good set pieces of stuff.
Yeah.
There's one mission we were literally talking about before the podcast. There's a mission where you start in a helicopter, gets blown up, you fall out, and you're like upside down on a rope, like as this thing is going along a highway with a bunch of other Humvees, and you're like shooting people upside down while you're like that type of vibe. It's good. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
classic. Yeah, that's what Call of Duty is for me.
Yeah, man.
Cut scenes that are just really fun to play through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see what Call of Duty to me is nothing longer than like a 12-hour campaign.
Bro,
dude, this one's like 4
7 hours is actually even pretty normal.
Dude, this one's like 4 hours.
You do it in one sitting, bro. That's it.
What else can you do?
It's over and done.
And it's also they're retelling the same story.
That's true.
So that's fine. Whatever. I'm happy for them.
The multiplayer was fun.
I'm happy.
I really liked the multiplayer.
Activision, Treyarch, who does these?
Sledgehammer.
Yeah,
Sledgehammer is doing this one.
Who the fuck is Sledgehammer?
Sledgehammer's who took over from Infinity Ward.
Right. Infinity Ward did an original one for 3, right?
I think they did Yeah, and then I think
Infinity Ward did all the Modern Warfare games, actually, didn't they? And then Black Ops was done by
Activision and Treyarch.
Yeah,
but then Sledgehammer came in during like Ghosts, right? I think.
I don't know if they did Ghosts. I know they did like Infinite Warfare or like Advanced Warfare or something like that. I think that's one of the first ones.
Advanced Warfare. I do remember that game.
I forget what the name of the first one where there was first jetpacks.
I think. Well, I think
that was when they were trying to compete with Titanfall.
That might have been one of the last ones I like bought like on disc actually that I can remember
because I physically was the last one that I bought too,
and that was kind of fun.
I had Black Ops 4 on disc, but I bought that at GameStop used like years after it came out, and the main reason why I bought it was because they had the pack, which I think you can just buy on its own now. That just gives you every single classic zombie map. So like I literally didn't even buy it for anything other than that.
Want to play Arcade.
I just wanted to play zombies. Yeah, Moon is awesome. Yeah,
Black Ops and Black Ops 2 were probably my most. Well, no. So Modern Warfare 3 to I would say Black Ops 2 were probably my most played Modern Warfare games. I played a lot of Modern Warfare 2, but I didn't really start heavily getting into gaming till Black Ops 1.
Okay.
And that was when I was like,
Black Ops 1 is good.
That's when I really kind of scared to play zombies, so I think I feel about the same. Like Black Ops 1 was my like, okay, yeah, let's play these games.
I remember when like getting to level 5 and zombies was like,
I sucked at zombies.
Damn, we got to round 5.
I was so ass.
I'm gonna brag right now because
I know
was
you were
really
so
fucking
good
at zombies.
I used to get
do me a favor right now. Guess what you think my highest round in zombie was?
Dude, probably like 70 something.
Yeah, 78.
Yeah, no,
I got to around 78 solo, bro.
You carried me like into the 30s before.
I fucking loved zombies.
Okay, but
so
actually,
much.
maybe underrated, maybe just because I couldn't do it so well. But do you remember the overhead zombies game that they had?
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
That was so
Call of the Dead.
fun.
Yeah,
Call of the Dead's fucking great.
I love that
one's
shit.
That one's
no, that's Dead Ops Arcade.
Oh, you're right.
Dead
Yeah,
Ops Arcade.
Call
There
of the
you go.
Dead was
That shit I fucking
that was a
love.
DLC.
That was the DLC.
Yeah,
that was one with like Danny Trejo.
Yes,
and
that one was
freaking-
awesome.
Yeah,
That was
that one
great.
was super sick.
Yeah, I was obsessed with zombies. I watched all of the 30-minute
lot of
videos
people
of the
were.
story. I used to do all the Easter eggs. Like I loved zombies. That was a big reason why I bought Call of Duties every year. Was just for zombies.
It was a big reason why most people bought Call of Duty, because after the servers would go offline, because Modern Warfare started like firstly to develop that thing that 2K does, where when they release a new game the next year they just turn off the server for the previous one.
No, the multiplayer games like that are a little better about it. You probably get like a solid 7 or 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, but they do turn off eventually. Still, like it's probably not going to last
just
longer
like
than
the
10
old
years.
ones that lasted that long.
I think honestly, I think people still go and play Modern Warfare 2. Like,
It might be
online.
on.
Didn't they just turn off those servers? I thought that's
I don't know about those games yet, but some of the older ones before MW2
like
are
Call of
definitely
Duty
gone.
3?
Yeah, same with like Halo. Like all those are getting turned off for sure.
the online was so like weird back then though. Like to get online and play and like navigate a lobby was a little bit
just
challenging.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That
the
is-
old days, man.
Yeah.
It was the old days.
Shit wasn't as like powerful, you know. We didn't have fucking Spectrum and
Yeah.
fucking Starlink and all this shit back then. You
Because
know?
when you still had to plug in a physical thing to get Wi-Fi on your Xbox.
I swear to God, every fucking like 10 fucking like weeks or so, I see some asshole online. Oh my God, what is that? And it's very clearly Starlink. How long are people gonna freak out over Starlink?
Is that the
That's the
Tesla
line.
thing?
Yeah, that's the line of fucking satellites.
That's his Wi-Fi now, right?
Yeah,
the
I
Elon
think
Musk
I think
Wi-Fi.
it provides Wi-Fi for like military and stuff
Yeah,
like that too.
Ev's brother has it, and apparently it's like all right.
Yeah, but everybody, what is it? And
Yeah.
it's so clearly Starlink. And then you go into the comments and it's like, that's Starlink. That's Starlink.
I don't
that's
have a whole
Starlink.
lot of like experience with it or information on it.
I've seen
but
it before plenty
I,
of times. You
but
can
what
see
I-
it from Fremont Pink really good.
What I did hear was that like because the house that they
looks cool.
live at is like out like not crazy out there,
It's away
but
from the city lights.
yeah,
so
they
you can
had
see it
they
better.
didn't have super good internet, and apparently this is like better than what like
Sure.
Spectrum or whatever they had before. So I mean, I guess that's something to be said for it, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't have personal experience with it.
All I have to say is I have Spectrum. That's some of the best Wi-Fi. I've
Spectrum
ever had
is
in
the
my-
best. I
That's
think
the best
Spectrum's
I've
the
ever had
best.
in my life.
Me too. I think
Like
that.
it completely
Being on the
changed
Spectrum
my
is the
gaming
best, right, you
experience
guys?
for sure.
Huh?
Said being on the Spectrum's the best, right, you guys?
Yeah. No. Honestly, I
No,
It changed my online gaming experience 1000%.
Oh,
It
yeah,
made it
big
so
time.
much smoother and so much nicer and way easier to play with friends and stuff like that. Like before, it was so hard for me to like
Spectrum's
Log on.
to log on because I would always lag out. I would
Yeah,
always do
bro.
something. We'd be
Yeah.
in the middle of a zombies run and I'd fucking
Done.
disconnect,
Yep,
you know. And I'm
man.
like,
So
fuck.
Spectrum
worst,
is
dude.
definitely the most bang for your buck.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the thing is any Wi-Fi, if you're just doing it yourself and you're gonna run an Ethernet cable through, any Wi-Fi will do.
Yeah,
I'm
not going to run an Ethernet cable from
But
my
if
room
you
to
want to
the
have
router,
multiple
though.
things hardwired in,
Yeah.
and then have people on the Wi-Fi and not have shitty Spectrum's the way to go.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. I think is it's like
It's just a little pricey.
It's
sometimes.
Well, yeah, because you can of course pay for like the higher end packages, get yourself more bandwidth and stuff like that. But I think that's the other thing too. Is it's like we all live in like households with multiple people that are jumping on the internet versus like content creators, whatever, blah blah blah, are probably just themselves, maybe like them and like their partner or one other person. So like the amount of like bandwidth being used is way less. Because like I for sure notice a difference when I'm playing in the middle of the night and everybody's asleep versus if I try to play during the daytime and everybody's on the Wi-Fi. So like it makes a big difference.
I trip out on like the gamers that are like, fuck man, I need to get new Wi-Fi. Like I'm dropping frames like crazy.
Yeah, that's
and I watch it and I'm like, damn, this looks like some of the smoothest shit I've ever fucking. But I guess when you've played at like super crazy high like resolutions and like super crazy frames and stuff like that, you can probably notice like the slightest change and like
maybe it's just
drops.
because I don't have enough experience with it yet. Because like we all just got PS5s within the last year, but like still to this day, when I boot up the PlayStation, it just depends on what I start with. Like if I start and I play something at 60 frames per second and then I go back to 30, then I can tell the difference. But if I start my play session and I just jump into like an older game, like a PS4 game that's at 30 frames, I can't tell. Like it doesn't register to my brain because I don't have the other thing to compare it to yet.
Well, that's because we were blown away by Halo 2 graphics when we were
I guess that's true too. Yeah, I'm not a big graphics head either. Like I just prefer like stability.
I like there's like a video. There's like a video of when like I forget what PlayStation 2 game. I think it might have been one of the GTA games when it came out. And this dude's like, looks crazy, man. Best graphics I ever seen in my life. And then it shows like just literally the graphics from that GTA game and they're just like dog shit. And it's just like, but it's just, you know, of the times, you know.
I feel like sometimes when it comes down to graphics, because like, especially with the next gen consoles, people are so like in your fucking face about like, oh, you can have these graphics modes or all that kinds of stuff that like they'll nitpick and see stuff that's not actually there sometimes just because they're super hyper focused on it. Like the one that got me the most is like the people complaining about the graphics on Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2?
It's not, Spider-Man 2. It's not that great and all this kind of stuff. And
it looks fantastic.
For me, it looks great. It looks good. But also, like, unless it's like the first time seeing the World Tree in God of War, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, wow, oh my god, look at that! Like,
well, there's times where I'll play something that's like an indie game.
Yeah.
That I think is far more beautiful than like
100%.
the latest, just because of the art style. Yeah. Like art style has a big part to play.
Also, when you have good like gameplay and stuff like that, it just blends in and
it doesn't matter.
But also, like, I was laughing because a lot of the times the same people that are like talking trash about the graphics are like they played most of the game with the Across the Spider-Verse suits on, and it's like.
You're playing it weird,
yeah, you're playing it with a weird glitchy phase on it, so don't pretend like you care about frame rates. Or
I can't play with those fucking skins on, bro.
I like them a lot.
For like maybe like 10-20 minutes at a time while I'm doing side stuff, but then I switch it.
I did the noir trick. Did you guys try it? Have you seen it?
I've done it. I can.
It's
the one where you pull out the Rubik's Cube?
No, well
where you turn the saturation and flip it all crazy.
You just basically turn the contrast all the way
negative.
Yeah.
And then you put on the Spider Noir suit, and it looks exactly how it does in that game.
It's in the accessibility settings. Yeah.
There's
seeing
like
it online is good enough for me.
Like even in that game when you do like the classic Venom suit from like the comics, there's one that has like a reddish bluish tint to it.
That's my favorite.
I like it, but it's just too distracting for me.
Sure.
When I'm going around and I'm doing shit, like it's too distracting for me.
The one with the blue on it is the one that is super beautiful to me. That one's not distracting and you can see it in the light, and it looks great.
I would like if Spider-Man 3 could incorporate filters.
Give us back fucking nighttime switch mode
that was something that Uncharted 2 had back on the PS3. You could play the entire game with different filters on, and that would be super cool, and I feel like it would make those suits a lot more like functional is not the right word, but like it would just blend better. Like if you could turn the whole world into like a cartoony thing and then play in the Spider-Verse suit, 10 times better. Like
it must be hard to do though.
Like reskinning
probably
the entire map.
Well, it's harder to do now because of how detailed everything is.
Yeah. Before when you had like load.
In Spider-Man 3, just give me the abilities to pick the colors for alternate suits.
Oh yeah, because the colors are whack for most of them.
Like they're just so dumb.
Yeah. They,
Can I ask
or
you
like
something?
just like give me palettes to unlock where I can pick and choose the
Your
colors
own
from.
ones?
What
Yeah.
do you guys think of the Miles suit?
I
don't like
He
it.
doesn't like
I
it.
don't
I
like
love
it.
it.
I do too.
Why?
I think it's good.
It's just
Tell
just
me,
too
please.
much. I don't know. It's just
Why?
for me. It feels a little too much. I don't like the fucking blue and like it's super shiny like that. Like
Sure.
I don't.
Have
like,
you
again,
tried the other version of it where the things are red?
No, because I don't play with that suit.
Yeah.
That one, it looks really good with the red.
The one thing that like I did like
Please don't tell me it like
sympathize is-
ruined the whole ending of the game for you.
Oh no, come on,
No,
not
it
that
didn't.
far
But
yet.
I was just
people
like,
are
Did you
going-
change the suit right away though?
People are
for
going
sure.
really
Yeah.
hard on
but
that
there's
suit.
like just because there's other suits that I like. The Wakanda suit is fucking sick.
Super good.
The Wolverine suit that he has
Super
is
dope.
so fucking
Beautiful.
sick.
And it has the classic color scheme,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought is interesting considering that Brian Intihar said that the Wolverine game is also in the same universe.
It is, yeah.
So how he's got a Wolverine
Yeah,
suit.
I mean, I just didn't fuck with the suit.
Well, I mean, he also has like the fucking null suit, like the symbiote god one too.
Yeah.
and they haven't
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
that or anything.
That one's fucking
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, it's just I personally am not a big fan of it. I don't like the freaking blue and all that shit.
it is for sure. I think
It's just a lot for me.
it is like an MCU suit where
Yeah.
like it's very over designed.
I think it's pretty good.
I do too. I like it a
think
lot.
It's pretty good. It's
I-
not the best.
I didn't ask you,
But also-
what do you think of the anti-venom suit?
Oh, I love that shit.
that
I
one's
like the
fucking
Miles suit
dope,
better
bro.
than the anti-venom
Really?
suit. Yeah.
I think
Oh,
the white
gosh.
can be overbearing, but the
Yes.
thing that sells it for me is the
Yeah.
fucking eyes.
The
bro.
eyes are beautiful.
The eyes are
perfect.
awesome.
But no,
and
I
the
like
spider
that
emblem
shit.
is great.
Yeah.
I think I like the simplicity. I like
You
the
wa-
suits that are very simple.
You
Like,
want to
I
know
don't-
what's my favorite fucking suit for Miles?
Huh?
I told you already. It's the shield suit.
That one's
The
awesome.
blue and white one.
Oh,
That one's cool.
I like the
That's-
the black one.
That's what the spider monkey suit should have been in the MCU.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good.
I'm partial to it's called the N suit, where he has like the camo pants and the jacket with the hood,
I was
and
just
it's like
rocking
spray
that
painted on the
with
back.
the red jacket or the black jacket.
I like the red jacket. That's my favorite.
what?
The lights went off outside.
Interesting.
Dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I like that suit a lot just because I like Miles in a hood. I don't know what it is. I like the
one's
sportswear
good.
one too, like from the beginning of the first Miles game. That was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Most of the suits are kind of ass though.
I think
They
you don't
repeated
you
too
don't
many
start
of
to
them.
unlock good suits until like end game. Like there's like a lot of the good suits that you unlock come like later.
Yeah.
Even so, most of the suits are ass or just repeated from the previous games.
Yeah.
That was my main gripe. Is it's like just give me new ones.
many-
I don't want the same.
Even if
ones
they're
that I already
ass, just
had.
give me new ones.
Yeah.
They do not need to throw all of the MCU suits
Fuck
for the
no.
or like
Or make two different cards for the MCU for the Raimi
The
suits.
Raimi ones, yeah.
Just make it a colorway.
yeah. I think they should have just like put all the MCU suits under a branch. Like
Yep.
once you get like
Like an
the
expansion.
basic,
They should have just put it as a fucking bonus, like a DLC bonus. Pay $10 and you get the MCU.
I
suits.
did really. I will
don't-
say my new favorite one to just like free roam
people
on
really
is
like those,
the classic new one, like the one from the end of Homecoming.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
That
I
one's
like
my
that one a lot.
favorite.
Blue
To,
suit?
yeah, that's my favorite one to
Yeah.
swing
I like
around
that
in his
one.
The new
Peter.
blue
I like that one a
upgraded
lot.
suit. I like it too.
Yeah.
It's a little weird sometimes with that final game lighting. That
The
it
shiny
puts you
blue
in.
is weird.
It's
yeah.
just the lighting that the game puts you in at the end.
it's just
like,
regular daylight.
Yeah.
I'm always just a big fan of the Scarlet Spider suit.
I don't like that one.
I just like the I don't know, like the cut off sleeve like hoodie type shit is just kind of it's just pretty cool.
I like the extra
It's just
web
like,
shooters
you
on the
know.
ankles.
That part I like. The web shooter stuff is cool, and like the bigger web shooters is cool. I just like something about it is just not. It maybe it's because I'm thinking too hard about where it comes from, but like that's not Spider-Man. That's Ben Reilly.
Ben
It's like a
Reilly.
clone,
Yeah.
you know. So like I don't know. It's not my favorite.
It's just so 90s, man. I fucking
It is
love
very 90s. Yeah,
just love it.
for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
it is super 90s. Yeah.
I will also say I do like the Miles the Mysterio suit.
That
he
one's
gets.
tight too.
That one's
yeah.
cool.
And then the one that looks like the fucking white Power Ranger. That one's fucking sick.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
colorway of that one.
Yeah.
I
Miles
like
has
that
some
one.
good ones.
I think Miles has better suits than Peter in this game.
I have more fun with Miles suits.
What do you guys think? I think it's pretty obvious, and I don't know that we really needed to say it, but the writer came out and officially stated that going forward in the Insomniac universe, Miles is the
Primary Spider-Man.
the one and
I
only
like it.
Spider-Man.
I'm down.
And
I mean, that's what they
Peter's a
set up at
part-time.
the end of the game, so
That's
I like
what they
it.
do. That's why I didn't.
I love that.
I don't understand why they had to clarify. it.
Literally, when I finished the game, the first thing I texted you was, "I got this."
That's
All
so
of
good.
this.
It's so good.
It's so
Such a
fucking
good line.
good because
yeah.
he does got this.
He does,
He's
man. He's
fucking-
clearly a better Spider-Man than Peter.
He is.
yeah.
Dude, okay.
He's stronger.
He is, bro. He's got
Okay,
more powers.
I did
like,
it on Spectacular, and then on this one, I did it on Ultimate.
Let me tell you, man, Ultimate fucking sucks at the end, bro. It's really
I'm
hard,
scared.
bro.
I'm scared.
You know how
I'm scared to try it in Ultimate.
I just have to fight Venom at the end. That's
I
all
will
have
say
left.
this is that I beelined the story, so I wasn't as upgraded as I was in my first playthrough. But the Venom fight took me 2.5 hours, bro.
I'm going full
took
on
me
on
fucking
upgrading
forever.
everything.
I think once they release New Game Plus, where I can keep everything, then
you try it again.
I'll try it again on Ultimate because I'm pretty sure I'm maxed out level 60 and I have every single thing.
Because I have everything now before, and I'm still not at the Venom fight. I'm going.
Okay.
That's what I have next.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
But,
it's pretty tough.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
it's
a
fucking
bitch.
scary. It's scary, and it's just because you can only get hit like twice.
That's it. Even if you have fully upgraded health, bro, you're done in 2 hits.
But Miles is better to play with.
He's just,
He also his abilities. He's got like the constant recharge abilities where he almost never runs out of abilities or gadgets.
Yeah.
And then his blast is ready, and then you can use that to fucking build up focus.
Yeah.
He also this is what I was bringing up earlier is that on Spectacular and on Ultimate, I fucking mopped Peter's ass as Miles every
in the
time.
fight? Yeah. That one took me a couple tries, but the Craven fight was hard.
On Ultimate, it took me... I died twice, and then Chrissy got up, and she came back, and she's like, oh, you died again? And I'm like, no. I just died like 6 times in a row.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was playing like the Craven fight, like with Peter, wasn't like as hard as I wanted it to be.
The first time around?
Yeah. Like I feel like it wasn't like I felt like there was other like the like I felt like the MJ fight later was like harder than like the Craven fight, you know, which is fine, but I also want I felt like I wanted more out of the Craven fight.
The main thing that I don't like about both the Craven fight and the Venom fight is
you have an ashtray, man?
I could do
you could just fucking
ash into there.
Yeah.
I could
oh wait, that's Danny Boy's.
Oh, that is mine.
I don't think it's not empty.
Not yet. It will be soon.
For an empty.
I could just do without the lackeys. I don't need you to bring it like the main boss is hard enough as it is. I don't need you to bring in a bunch of like mini symbiotes or like mini hunters.
Okay, but if you're getting
your
your ass kicked, it helps build up the health.
That's true. Yeah.
Sometimes I do hate it, but also when I'm like getting my ass kicked, I'm like, okay, cool. Let me
just
beat
focus
these
on
dudes'
these guys,
asses real quick and build up some fucking.
You know what
hits.
took me way too long to realize? I literally didn't realize it until after I finished the Ultimate playthrough that I just did. Yeah. You know the little green fucking symbiotes?
You just fucking.
I had no idea that's all it took, bro. I spent forever like parrying and then getting a punch in, and then parrying and getting a punch in, and like literally it wasn't until after I beat the game I was like, "Fuck me, bro."
Yeah, you just gotta,
this is so much. It literally takes like 3 web shots in my bed.
I think it just takes one. I really think it just takes one.
I was so pissed,
I think when you just
bro.
hit them once, like they're just.
It happens to me every time I play a game. Is it's like there's just always 1 or 2 things that I make harder on myself because I don't have the information, and then I realize it, and I'm like, "Fuck me."
Sometimes, and also playing on Ultimate when things get like. Just
hectic,
clusterfuck.
bro. Yeah, it gets scary.
You kind of slip into like button mash mode for a second. You're like, oh fuck, oh fuck,
oh yeah.
Oh, fuck,
the move I like doing when shit gets like that, when people come in, is I do like I jump up and then I do the fucking and then I pull myself down.
Look at all of them down there. Yeah.
There's a new like it's not technically new, but you know the creativity of the player community and stuff. There's essentially like new traversal options because I don't know if you guys have fucked with them, but you can assign a certain amount of options to the left and right directional pad, and one of them you can assign the charge jump.
I think you're the only one here that changes controls in games though.
That's true, but also this is different. It's just that like you can assign photo mode, so you don't have to go into like the options every time, whatever, blah blah blah. But one of the things you can assign is the charge jump. But what's cool about it is it cuts out the animation, so you don't have to sit there and like hold on the ground for it.
Just
to
goes
fully
max
check.
every time.
He just jumps, and there's like hella shit that people have been doing with it, and it's honestly pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will say the challenge I had the most fun with was doing the 30 tricks in the air without.
That was hard.
Dude, I was wondering if I was like, I'm like, am I supposed to do it all in one? Like I was getting frustrated.
No, you have to do it all in one. You have to do it all in one.
You have to do it with
the
you can't even touch the walls.
Well, the other thing too that's tough about it is you can't just do the same trick over and over again. You have to do
to do variations. But it's only like
I don't think it makes you do different tricks every
because
time.
there's far less
but
tricks
you
than
because
there
I
was in
tried it and I
Miles.
literally swung for like 15 minutes just doing front flips and back flips, and I wouldn't get it. So
I think that's
was
what
like,
happened
the
to me
fuck?
too. I think I felt like I was like,
yeah. You just got to go to the financial district, and then there's just like a super long fucking
wind tunnel or whatever.
It's not a wind tunnel. It's just like the street just goes straight for super long.
Yeah, it's a perfect. Yeah.
And so you go to the end, and you just fucking you get yourself going. And
the other one that took me, it's not hard. It just took me a minute to find the right path. Was the gliding one.
I love that one.
From the financial to Astoria or whatever. That one was cool.
From
just because you have to hit like one wind tunnel. You have to hit the right wind tunnel. and then you have to like bank off, and then there's like that wind tunnel that's at the very top that you have to like catch.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like almost running out of like
dead momentum.
Yeah. That one was cool. That one took me like, I was like, fuck, dude. How do I fucking do this? I think I had to look that one up, and I was like, fuck, how do I figure this one out?
I did see this cool new glitch. I hope it's not patched because I wanted to try it tonight after. But do you guys remember the mission is called Photo Help? It's in the Friendly Neighborhood app where you play as...
I love that one, especially because the shot she takes looks a lot like the loading screens from the first game.
Yeah. It's the one where you go back in time, and it's when Peter gives JJ the first picture that he ever took of Spider-Man.
Amazing Fantasies photo.
So you can glitch out of like this construction zone that you have to ride your bike through. And if it takes like 2 minutes, but you have to bike ride all the way to like the waterfront.
Yeah.
And you can jump into the water and like, you know, glitch your way or whatever so that you can actually free roam as Peter in his regular suit.
Oh, dang.
You don't have all the traversal options that you do as like a fully upgraded Spider-Man, but I've seen clips of it and it looks cool. Like just for the novelty of it, I want to do it.
I did the Venom into the open world map.
Oh yeah, that one too.
That one's fun, but
the one that cracks me up is there's like a hidden bike behind like a fence.
That he can ride.
Yeah, and you can go on that, and he's like way too big for it. It looks hilarious. It's so stupid.
The Photo Help one is the first time I got Spider Cube. I went, it glitched, it went into the thing, and I was like, why am I just a bike moving by itself? And then I moved the camera, and there was a cube like underneath the bike.
I'm not the first person to say this, but I would really love it if like as a DLC suit, Insomniac puts like not just the little cube, but like just like a boxy Minecraft Spider-Man that's just like the white cube. I feel like that'd be like a funny little
fucking
Easter
Spider
egg.
Cop outfit.
That would be cool. Yeah, we do need Spider Cop still.
Also, let me see Yuri's Spider Cop tattoo. She's like really fucking hanging or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That fight also pissed me off the other day.
She's
I'm not
hard.
Gonna lie.
She's hard when she goes into the blurry mode.
That shit was
fuck
annoying.
her, dude. Fuck that shit.
I was pissed, man. Yeah. You know they're married in real life. The voice actor for
actors,
Yuri and actual Yuri Lowenthal.
I think I remember that from the first time. From this game.
She's like, hey babe, I'm gonna play this character, and he's like, oh yeah, who? Yuri.
What? That's me.
That's me.
It's a me.
It's a me.
Yuri.
It's me. Did you know? Okay, so the original Mario.
Yeah, you told me this the other day, huh?
You know, he's not saying it's a me.
Oh no, he's saying I know Isumi, which
is
Japanese
super.
Japanese for super, right?
He's literally just saying Super Mario.
Super Mario.
I saw that on something else too today. Yeah,
we're just American pigs. We're like he's Italian, so he's saying it's a me.
It's a me.
It's a Mario. It's a me. Yeah.
They're like, actually, he's saying fucking Super Mario. You dumbass.
Crazy motherfucker.
Stupid.
There's
I was like, oh sorry, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say it is definitely like a racist joke, but I remember from back in the day of like I forget how it goes, but like Mario encompasses like because he's like created by Japanese people, looks Italian, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, and it's like it's true. Like, I wonder what the thinking was, like if they really like wanted Mario to be Italian, or if that was just like a perspective thing for the rest of the world, being like he's got a mustache and he's in the plumber's thing and whatever. Blah, he must be Italian.
I just like the idea that like
they're like, yeah, there's no Japanese plumbers with mustaches.
Yeah, they're like that's impossible.
I like
yeah, like I don't know.
My favorite part about all of Mario is that like. Sure, like because I guess like the whole idea is like that he's just like a plumber is supposed to be like the underdog becomes a hero.
Yeah.
But Mario's like fucking immortal.
Mario's insanely overpowered.
He can do anything. Like
Mario is for supposedly being a regular dude. Constantly and consistently fights and beats a dragon. A full dragon.
Yeah. He's like god tier. Like that's why he's like one of the best characters in Smash Bros. And
he is probably like the greatest video game character.
Goku's like, I trained my whole life to go
to be
Super
like,
Saiyan. Mario's like, yeah, I ate a mushroom one time and I got bigger.
No, it's good. So, that's it. Yeah, I get this star sometimes. It makes me invincible.
Yeah. Dare we say that he's invincible?
I was gonna say that's a good transition. Right
Hell
there.
yes. Yeah, guys, we've talked about our shit. We're talking about our shit, but now let's get into our meat and potatoes.
Yes.
Let's get into some shit.
Got a few little appetizers first.
Hell yeah.
A couple appetizers.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen Invincible,
Episode
season 2
1, yes.
Watch that
is
shit.
now out. Episode 1, yes. They did have like a little prequel to this season. They had the Adam Eve episode.
I still haven't watched that.
Episode 202.
How have you not watched that yet?
Because
God damn it.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to watch it.
Doesn't really play into the first episode.
That's what I figured.
It's so good though. It's
I do still want to watch it, and I'm going to.
It's really good.
Yeah, I just didn't watch it before I saw this episode.
But yeah, Invincible is back after what, like a 3-year?
I think so.
2021 was when.
Oh, like 2 years then.
Yeah.
I thought it was much longer too, but apparently on IMDb it says 2021.
It just felt like
I thought it was like 2019, bro.
Man, I guess it's just because how many delays there were. Like it got delayed like what 2 or 3 times, so it probably just felt like a lot longer.
And it's a fucking 8-episode cartoon.
We also only get half of it this time.
What the
sucks,
fuck,
man? Yeah, and you know what else?
That's bullshit.
Well, we were talking about this.
I'd rather just wait.
The thing that makes I wouldn't mind it so much, except for the fact that the creator came out and said, yeah, you only get half the season, and I will tell you, it was not a creative decision.
Well,
like,
okay.
It's literally just because some bullshit's happening.
What Amazon, I saw that was even more bullshit is I think it's probably what the studio just put out in place of it. They said that the reason for it was because, and again, there is only one storyline for the Invincible.
Yeah.
And it's fucking insane, and it's really,
crazy.
really, really heavy, and I think a lot of people are going to have problems with some of the stuff that's going to happen, especially some of the stuff that's going to happen to Mark later on.
Yeah.
But they said it's because, like, you're going to want a breather because of how heavy it is.
Maybe.
But
I don't know.
considering that they didn't come heavy out of the gates with episode 1, like, full of shit.
Dude,
I mean, episode 1's pretty fucking crazy.
What? But okay, but remember I texted you guys and said that everybody online was saying that the ending of it was like insanely shocking.
Yeah, I didn't.
What the fuck is that?
I will say this is that like the hype that I heard around how intense it was, I think probably jaded me a little bit, and also too, nothing is gonna live up to the intensity of like the first episode of season 1. Like it's just not gonna hit that level. So I also too was like, I won't say disappointed, but like, I think I probably overhyped myself on like the shock value that I heard about the episode. I thought it was pretty tame for an Invincible episode.
Did too.
Yeah, I didn't think it was super crazy.
Nobody got their fucking a hole punch through them or anything like that.
I think what a lot of people tripped out on was probably the intro, but like I think because we've all looked at the videos and stuff of like what happens, like pretty instantly you're like, okay, well this is a multiverse Mark. This is not like actually.
I like the fact that they're introduced right off the bat the idea of not even just the idea of the other Marks, but the idea that. Not even the idea, but the fact that
the multiverse
in most other universes, Mark joins
Caves,
Omni-Man and he fucking becomes terrible.
Yep.
Which makes it more fun for our Invincible, who's going to have to fucking fight this.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but...
No, we're going to spoil it. Don't worry about it. We'll get into it
right now. Not for the episode. I just meant like ahead of time, like because of the story.
Oh, yeah, for the rest of the story, yeah.
But yeah, no, I really like that a lot. And it's also, you get the fresh little recap too, like of what happened, even though
season.
You know you can choose to skip the actual recap, the episode within itself.
Oh yeah, it talks about
a little bit of a recap.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I think I thought it was a pretty solid first episode. Like I said, I will say I think some of the hype that I had heard about it, because I didn't watch it right away, like on opening day, probably jaded me a little bit. Like I was saying, just because like again, I thought it was a little bit underwhelming for like a season opener. It wasn't anything like mind blowing or anything, but it was good. It was still a solid episode for sure. I thought it was 100%. Still good. I liked it.
Definitely a good one, I think. Still, I was excited to watch.
Yeah, I fucked with it. I did enjoy the beginning as well because I liked how they kind of, you drop it in. You don't necessarily know like it's going where it's going. Like at least for me, like initially I was just like, oh, these fools are like training together. You know, like this is pretty cool. And then it almost looks like it's turning into like the Immortals trying to stop Invincible for trying to save like people because of what Omni-Man did and blah, 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 or whatever.
Doesn't trust him.
Yeah. And then he's trying to choke out Invincible and all of a sudden you just see Omni-Man come through and you're like, oh shit, this is not actually where we're used to being.
Definitely not.
Yeah, then we see Omni-Man die for like the third fucking time.
Or the Immortal.
Oh, the Immortal. Yes. Yeah, we see the Immortal die for like the third fucking time.
That's kind of his thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He dies and comes back to life.
Yeah, fucker's immortal, yeah.
But this time he actually fucking dies because he gets his head fucking crushed.
I guess that's true, yeah. He does have to have at least his head, right? I think that's
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
Because, I mean, if you don't have a brain, then...
I mean, and it depends. I don't know the details of it. Yeah,
I don't either.
I mean, like, not that this is the exact same thing, but I know like Wolverine just needs bone marrow to like regrow. That's how his regeneration factor works. He doesn't need his brains or anything like that. But yeah, after that initial intro, and then we kind of see like the underground resistance. Eve's got like her shaved head, and then we're introduced to like Angstrom Levi or Levy or whatever it is.
Angstrom Levy.
Levy, yeah, the multiversal guy.
I mean, we also see Mark fucking paralyze Adam Eve.
Yeah, that was pretty hardcore.
Yeah, that was fucking gnarly.
And just like to watch her, and just like because he couldn't fucking kill her. He's
the part that was like, don't get me wrong, like that was brutal, right? But like the part that was more fucked up to me was when Omni-Man comes up and it's like, oh, that's what you were practicing on all those civilians last week. I was
seriously.
like, oh fuck, dude.
And he's like, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah,
I
was like, holy shit, bro, that was crazy.
No,
I like that because I like how much they showed like they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like they are very much like we are the superior.
They are.
They are. You know,
it's fucking. It's the Zack Snyder Batman's wet dream of like Superman is actually truly just a horrible evil alien of like
it's Brightburn.
Yeah, it is Brightburn. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Whoa, that was some ASMR right there, dude. Inhale, exhale.
Throughout the episode, I also like how they do the fake outs of like the dropping like the title card.
Yeah,
especially
that was
in the beginning.
Funny. I agree.
Yeah, they
like,
just say Invincible a bunch of times in a row.
I will say this is that like the very last one that Rexplode drops was kind of annoying because the other ones were pretty clever, but then the last one is very much like a forced like.
Aren't you like
Invincible? Yeah, I was like, okay, dude, like that's enough. But it is funny. It's a good gag.
What's his name?
I don't know how to say his last name, but it's like
Jason Mantzoukas.
Mantzoukas, yeah, there you go, yeah. He's funny.
He's fucking hilarious.
He's hilarious,
dude.
Yeah, it was a good way to play with expectations because obviously that was their big thing in the first season.
He fucking had because he's also in Big Mouth and they just dropped another season of that too.
Oh, that show's just show that doesn't quit right there, dude.
Yeah, that's like the 10th
who watches
season.
that show? I want to know who fucking watches that show.
I've seen the first two seasons. It's really
show
funny.
Is fucking hilarious.
I think that's also very good.
Nick Kroll's fucking and John Mulaney is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, I like that we get
Megan
to see
Thee
like
Stallion
the new
did that in the new season.
Yeah, I like that we get to see the new Guardians of the Globe. That's fun. The team is like a little boring to me, but it's fine. Like it is what it is.
Dude, like who was trying out for the team?
Yeah, it's a teenage team, but just upgraded now. Plus,
it's the forced Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah, exactly. Because they don't have anybody. Yeah, because the rest of them fucking died. Yeah,
the actual Guardians fucking died.
Yeah, exactly.
They got murdered.
Fucking killed the fuck out of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good setup episode, I would say, if you don't know the grander universe.
Yeah.
I think it felt like a little bit lackluster just because of like where we know everything is going. I was like, fuck, just get like jump into more of it. Like, let me just get more and more. Like, I just want to further dive into the rest of the multiverses and stuff like that, you know? Because we don't really see anything else aside from like that first one, and then a couple little glimpses here and there, like through the portals when Angstrom Levi's like with the Maulers and stuff like that.
I like that all that stuff.
That was good. Also crazy. I was gonna say like this fool like who claims to be a pacifist has like crazy fucking plan because he's just like
got a bunch of them
I'm just gonna
melt them all into one.
Yeah, it's like that's pretty hardcore, dude. I'm not gonna lie. And then he gets all butthurt because like they're about to fucking kill Invincible again. It was like poor Mark, like that fucking
and then he blames him at the end too, and he's like, "You fucking ruined everything."
Yeah, he's like, "I won't build my utopia on blood," and then
like, "You made that choice, dog."
He blew everybody up.
Now,
yeah. But I think
because you look like fucking.
I have a feeling that I don't remember this character from the comic books, which I'm glad about, and I'm not gonna watch anything because I want to be surprised. But I imagine from the vibes I'm getting right now, he's gonna be like the fallen angel kind of character, where like he has good intentions. And I think he's for sure going to end up being fucking psycho and like probably kind of a bad guy.
Well, yeah, because now his mind is like mixed with all the other Angstroms who from all their universes, Mark is just a terrible person.
And he broke the cycle
that's
too.
A good point. That's actually a good point.
Yeah. So now he's like, he has this idea in his head that Mark's just a terrible person and Mark fucking fucked all of this shit up. When really he fucked all of it up because he took the helmet off when the Maulers were like, hey, bro, once the shit starts, it doesn't stop.
Exactly.
You can't take this shit off.
He fucked it up because he decided to do some evil supervillain multiverse shit, basically.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. It's already kind of a crazy plan.
Yeah. I mean, like he has the seeds of like a supervillain, right? Like he wants to do the right thing. Like he's not like it's not wrong what he wants to do. Yeah. But the way he's gonna go about it is for sure
pretty bad.
The wrong way.
Intense.
Yeah.
No, I think he's an interesting character so far. I like seeing the Maulers back. They're like a fun
He'll be
duo.
an interesting bad guy for Mark to go up against. Somebody who's not really a bad guy.
Well, also too,
fucked.
He's also not like a bad guy at the tip. But so far, all of the challenges that Mark has had to face have been physical. aside from the psychological trauma that his dad fucking wrecked on him at the end of the last season. So it will be fun to see a villain who is more of like a intellectual threat, if that's the route that they go. Because that's always fun, right? It's like, that's why Superman and Lex Luthor work so well. Because it's like, yeah, Supes can punch anything into oblivion, but Lex is 10,000 times smarter than he is. So like he could trick the fuck out, whatever it might be. So I think it'll be an interesting dynamic. I'm excited. I don't know. But something about, like I said, I think it's still a good episode. It's probably like an 8 out of 10, maybe like a 7.5 if I'm being brutally honest. But I just wanted a little bit more out of it. But I'm still very excited for the rest of the season. Like I still want to see it. So yeah, I'm here for it.
But I mean, 3 episodes left off the bat is kind of.
That's true. That's a bit of a bummer. They are long though. They're chunky. 40 minutes
50?
long. Yeah, 50 minutes long. Ones. So, you know, it's better than 20 minutes. I was under the impression that they were 30-minute episodes. That's what I thought I remembered. They were always 40 or 50. Yeah, I went back and looked. Yeah.
But yeah, I like this episode a lot. I liked a lot of the music, like having the creep.
Oh yeah. When he's like,
not creep, but he has a fucking.
It's like
it's Radiohead.
Yeah, when he's flying through the
city.
city.
Yeah.
That's a good scene.
Yeah, that was a really good scene because it's like, you know, he's fucking sad. He like doesn't know what the fuck to do. You know, he's trying his best to be a superhero to like the best of his abilities, but he's still like haunted by like all the shit that happened, like all the people that died, like the building, all of that fucking shit, you know, and rightfully so. Like that's some traumatic ass fucking shit.
Yeah, I like the survivor's guilt thing that they're going for. I think it's good because like it gives him like a good problem right now before Omni-Man shows up, because like no way they're not going to bring him back in this season. He's not just going to not be there. So for now, until he gets back and has to truly face that problem, I think this is a good way to like handle the aftermath of the first season. He's blaming himself for everything. It's good. I like it. Solid character shit.
Solid shit. Good shit.
Some solid fucking shit. What else did I fucking like in the episode? Fuck, I forget. I watched that episode last week. I should have watched it again, but yeah, it was. I mean, I can understand the being underwhelmed by the episode. Like, I think if you do take it with like all the hype where people were saying like, oh my god, like the ending is gonna be so shocking, and I think it is shocking to an extent, right? Like this dude literally incinerates like countless, like dozens of fucking
himself and ballers. Yeah.
And like they literally all just like immediately like are burned to a crisp, except for like a few of them, right? So I was just like, damn, that is like on a, like if you're like quantifying like the shock value of each, or like, you know, like I guess this one could be like a little bit more shocking because more people do die, right? But like the other one is more shocking because like superheroes literally fucking die, and you are like taken so like off guard, you know.
The other thing too beyond that, I think, is it's like it's almost the it's the problem that the latest episode of the next show we're going to talk about finally remedied, which is like, I don't give a shit about all these random Angstrom Levi's and all these random Maulers, because they're just random no-face multiverse people, versus like you get a moment in the first episode where all of the Guardians of the Globe are like working together, even Omni-Man, and it's like, oh, they're a team that trusts each other, blah, blah, blah. They build that up. So then at the end, when that betrayal happens, it's like, oh, fuck, what the hell? I don't understand. Versus in this one, it's just like, I don't care about him yet. I don't even care about Prime Angstrom Levi yet.
Yeah, because I don't even know who the fuck he is.
No. So like all of these random versions of him dying just very much feel like that scene in episode 2 or 1 of Loki, where it's like, yeah, you see all the branches being like killed on the screen, but I don't have a personal attachment to it. So I think that's why it was underwhelming. Is it's just like
everybody could have been malnourished in that fucking universe. Who the fuck knows what's going on in that universe?
You know, even if they, I don't know how it would work in story, but like even if all of the variants in those chairs were somehow variants of the characters that I already know, I feel like that would even be more impactful. But the fact that they just introduce a new character plus like 30 or 40 of his variants and then kill them all, or kind of, you know, whatever happens, it's just like, they're just okay, I get it. I get what you're going for, but I just don't care yet. And maybe that'll be remedied as the season goes on, you know? Give me an Angstrom Levi episode and like give me his backstory, and then in retrospect that'll be heavier. But as of right now, I think it's just a little.
I feel that. I like the way they finally dropped the title card. Like when that built up and he's just like, I'm gonna kill, and then like it drops.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just like completely different. I was just like, oh fuck.
That was good.
Hell yeah, that was fucking sick. Yeah. That was fucking sick. And seeing his fucking crazy like big brain head was just freaking. That shit was gross.
It reminds me of like the leader kind of, but like obviously a little more horrific.
She was grotesque, man.
Yeah.
Gross. Fucking gross.
But yeah, like I said, strong 7.5, maybe an 8 if I'm being generous.
Yeah, I think I go a little higher. I think I go like 8.5.
Okay.
I think I was really down with it. In comparison to season 1's,
first
episode, definitely not as good.
No.
But I think in terms of setting up what we got going on, setting up like all the different characters like arcs, like with Mark, with his mom, and people like that. I think it's with Angstrom and stuff like that. I think it's I think it's shaping up to be really fucking good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good season.
It's gonna be super fucking solid. Yeah. Like I'm really fucking excited.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the weight also plays into it as well. Like if this had come out a year after, rather than like the 2 plus the extra long psychological weight that we had, it's like I think I was probably just expecting maybe a little more.
Yeah, there was a lot like going against it.
Yeah,
like you had the long wait. Season 1 was like a hit right out of the gate, so you have to answer back and like
it's almost, which was almost a compliment to it because the fact that it was still good and more than good enough, just not quite great. I think with everything going against it is solid. Like the fact that they were able to pull it off still. Yeah,
if you were just compare that to probably like a lot of the stuff, it's probably still better than like a lot of the stuff that's out or whatever. But it's not like, it's not in comparison to the peaks that it's already had within itself.
Yeah, compared to its own self.
Yeah.
It's not quite, definitely.
It's not there yet. But
not yet. We'll get there.
It'll get there.
I agree. I think it will get there.
Yeah, I've seen early reviews that say like, this is like season 1 was really good and this just like really takes it to that next level. So I'm excited. Hopefully we do within these next 4 episodes get to see it taken to that next level for sure. That's what I would love to see.
I told Ryan this before the season came out, and I think at this point now my theory is probably debunked, but I was actually pretty hopeful that the Mark that we saw in season 1 was gonna turn out to be an evil Mark, and that we would jump at some point in season 2 to like, okay, this Mark went through everything you watched in season 1, but it's not the one from season 1. He made the choice not to go with Omni-Man.
I mean, you almost got it right. You called
in the beginning.
You called the bad Mark. You called it.
Yeah, but it's just I wanted them to double down on it even harder though, and they did back off of it. They showed us a tease of it, and then they're like, okay, but you still get your Mark back. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that would have been a crazy mindfuck just to be like, the protagonist of your whole first season, that guy's a bad guy now. Time to find a new Mark. Yeah, like, sorry. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Any final thoughts on Invincible?
Invincible? No, not really. It was good. It was a solid show. I'd probably give it like a 6 or whatever. It was fine. It was bad. It's also just the first episode, and they do have a really big story ahead of them to tell.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's a graceful 6. It's okay. 6 is not bad. 6s make the world go round. I'm a 6.
That's you. Get the fuck out of here. You're a fucking 10, baby. You're crazy.
Ooh.
No, yeah.
Anywhere else, I'd be a 10. But I'm just Ken.
But hell yeah. Shall we move on to another?
Some lokes?
Some lokes.
Some locals?
To my lokester, man.
My lokester, bro. Yeah, this was a good episode.
Yeah, this was really good. This is filler like done right. Like,
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that's
a great way to put it.
Like if you were going to give me if you're going to say give me some of the best filler.
This is a prime example.
This is a really prime example.
It's a really good way to put it, yeah.
Exactly. Like it's something that, is contained within itself.
It's a little slower, not as bombastic.
Exactly. It's a little slower. It's, the episode. And it's an interesting place to throw some like crazy. I mean, not that you don't get filler right before the finale, but I think a lot of times you do get a pretty crazy like ramp up.
Yeah.
Before a finale.
They said the last 2 episodes is where everything fucking kicks it in the fucking maximum overdrive.
Yeah, baby.
And this definitely starts out a little slower. We get a little bit of more of a slower burn. We get to see, Loki right after the supposed, blow up of the, sacred timeline and everything that, so we get to see him back in the TVA and we're like, what the fuck is,
what's happening?
Going on?
Most importantly, Mobius gets his fucking jet.
Fuck yeah.
That was my favorite. I audibly screamed. I was like, fuck yeah, because it's like that slow-mo scene too. He's like right in the camera. It was so good.
It made it look so good.
Cool. Yeah. He sells fucking ATVs and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But the jet skis, he has them. He sells those. Those are his babies. He fucking...
I love the gag, too, where Loki comes up and he's like, the TVA. He's like, I think you mean ATVs, buddy.
Yeah, seriously.
I think you mean ATVs.
Yeah, that was funny.
Classic Owen Wilson just being Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Good shit. Yeah, I thought it was... I will say that, like, while it was, like, a small gripe of mine, it wasn't anything that, like... Because I heard a lot of people online, apparently this like really satisfied a part that they were disappointed about, which were that they were like, I think you mentioned this too when we talked about the episode way back when, which is like, give me a reason for the timelines to be disappearing, or like give me a reason to care that the timelines are disappearing, right? Is like the lines on the thing. And like, while I could understand it to a certain extent, I don't think it bothered me quite as much as some of the discourse that I saw online. But either way, I thought that this was a strong way to put more weight on it, because not only do we finally see where our cast of characters all come from, they all have a place on the timeline now. We actually physically see timelines get fucking spaghettied, bro, and it looks fantastic. It is one of my favorite effects that I have ever seen on screen. It looks fucking scary, bro.
Unwinding to fucking Lou Reed,
looks terrifying, bro. It's beautiful.
Fucking Lou Reed, bro.
It's
I
horrifyingly
love
beautiful.
That shit so much.
Yeah,
I literally saw the album and I was like, "This is Velvet Underground, bro," and I was like, "All sweet nothing." And then
the vinyl just
hit.
Like spinning up like in the air.
It looks
my
so
god,
good.
that's so awesome.
The people just like it reminds me. It gives me Thanos vibes for sure. I think they probably took some inspiration from the snap, right? But the effect is just so much better. Like
it's multiversal. Man.
It's so terrifying. It looks so scary, dude.
Being spaghetti looks worse than turning to ash.
Well, it also it plays on like a not only a joke that they said in the earlier part of the season, but what is also like, well, I'm not gonna say true, but like theoretically true, which is like black holes turn you into spaghetti if you go into them or whatever. And I think Ouroboros Obi makes a joke about it in the beginning where it's like, do you know about like spaghettis and black hole or some shit like that? And he's like, what? And he's like, better if you don't know about it or something like that.
Seriously.
So yeah, it's good. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I thought this was such a great episode. Like I loved it. Again, I like the slower pace. Like the whole time, again, like I kept thinking just like, wow, this is filler, but it's just so like top tier because we are getting to see what we wanted to see, you know, our characters in their their timelines, where they came from and stuff like that.
They're like the questions that resonate with you after the end of the first season. Like, who are these people? What were they like? And then you get to see it while still getting this main point across.
And getting to see them be like so different from, I mean, I guess not necessarily Mobius, but like, you know, getting to see B-15 be someone who like, you know, helps people and like saves people in her timeline, and then in the TVA she literally fucking prunes people as her fucking job. Yeah, you know, and we get to see Casey, who in his job he's just like
a criminal.
You know, he's a fucking criminal.
From fucking Alcatraz.
He escaped from fucking Alcatraz, and in the TVA he's just like, you know, he's just a regular guy,
nerdy office guy
who collects all this shit. You know, still keeps robbing stuff, but you know, and I thought that was nice. I thought they, you know, gave they really made that matter. You know, they made that stuff matter in the episode. It wasn't just like, oh, here's where they come from. It's just like, you know, we get to meet these characters. They are integral to what has to go on in the story because Loki believes he has to get all these people to get their full, you know, aura. So he can,
aura,
get their whole temporal aura and be able to time slip to where he wants to go, you know. So they are important to what has to happen in the story. And like, and it's just great, you know. We get to see Mobius on a fucking jet ski. Like, it's great
because he uses the whole temporal aura excuse to get everybody back together and all that kinds of stuff, right? But really, he just
we get his actual motivation.
He just wants to be with his fucking friends, bro. And that in turn is what saves the day at the end and what teaches him his new ability that he learns that, like...
Pretty crazy, honestly.
Such an OP ability,
bro.
He's
like one of the most OP characters in the MCU right now.
Yeah.
Who can just go anywhere.
Homie's
literally Angstrom Levi.
Like, he's like, oh, wait, let me just go back to before you had your powers.
You know
I'll
that
just beat your ass.
That one law that the overlord of this timeline created? Yeah, fuck that. I can just go back and do it again. It doesn't matter.
I do what I want.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks good, too, when he does it, like...
Controlled?
Yeah, it's cool. Like the way that like everything around him kind of like sucks in and then back out, and he's like there or whatever. It looks good. It's a good effect. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the stuff with OB this episode. Like it was just so fucking great, dude. Like Loki's just like, yeah, man, I need your help, blah blah blah. And
Obi
he's
lost
just like,
his fucking wife. Bro.
I know,
yeah,
sad.
And he's just like, I'm just like blah blah, like a teacher or something like that, whatever. And Loki's like, oh fuck. He's like, yeah, but I did also get like a master's in like theoretical physics, like, blah blah, and stuff like that. And Loki's just like, okay.
Oh, so you do the one thing that I was laughing at that like I thought was hilarious is how Loki's just like, why don't you just do some science about it? Like, do some science about it and fix it.
Bro.
Yeah, science it. Like, so dumb. Just like, well, how does science help us? What is this? You got to science this thing. Like, I feel like he said it so much this episode. It was funny.
No, yeah.
I loved when he like when he creates like the big like tempad, like his first tempad.
Yeah.
Look, he's like, wow, that was so fast. He's like, what do you mean that took 19 months?
I would have called
I
it
lost
19
my
months.
job and I got divorced.
My
blah,
wife
blah.
left me.
My wife left me,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
crazy. I will say though, for him being alive in like what the 90s, I feel like 19 months is still pretty fast to build like a multiversal transportation device.
Yeah, I love
when
that.
you have a fucking directions, when you get the directions, bro.
That's true. He had the book. Yeah.
When you get the book that's written by yourself.
Yeah, that's.
I built enough Legos. No.
Now there's like a double because we already had the Ouroboros like
Giving
concept with Timely and
the book
with Timely and Obi, but now there's like another one because like when did he write it now? Because it was given to him now as well to build the first tempad.
Exactly.
So it's like a double Ouroboros thing happening.
Yeah.
It was written outside of time and space.
I guess so, yeah.
And now Loki's like recreating like the TVA, so it's like who fucking created like the TVA?
Yeah, he's putting like some of the, or at least that we know, the core members together, right? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's
a mind fuck. Yeah.
We had a lot of shit fucking going down. It was fucking crazy.
I will say a little, not even a gripe against the episode, but I was just annoyed by it. Was like, it has taken a little bit too long for me personally for Sylvie to be on board. Like, from the beginning of the season,
already starting the crusade.
From the beginning of the season, everybody's telling her like, "Hey, if we don't do anything about this, all the timelines are gonna disappear." And she's kind of just like, "Yeah, fuck you, I don't care." And then all of a sudden, at the end of this, she's like, "Guys, you're not gonna believe this. All the timelines are disappearing." And it's like, no fucking shit, dude.
Wow, that's actually what we've been telling you
the
this
whole
time.
season. Yeah. Like again, not an actual gripe against the episode itself. It was just kind of an annoying character.
I can agree. I feel like throughout this season, she's kind of like just popped up here and there
just to cause problems.
Yeah, whereas like in the first season she did a little bit of like kind of like
the problem solving.
Yeah, but she at first she was a little bit the same. She was just like popping up and like causing problems for Loki, and then she grew into a more to a bigger and more integral character to the story. And whereas in this season she has just been kind of like
kind of reverted back.
Yeah, she's almost just like Loki's love interest. Like at this point, she's just like, oh, I need to get fucking Sylvie back.
And even then, they're not even really doubling down that hard because Loki's motivation is not like I want my girlfriend back. Yeah. It's like I need her to save the fucking multiverse. So like, it's kind of weird.
I need my friend so we can fucking do this.
Yeah, shit. I think she's been a little bit like, I'm not gonna say underutilized, but like weirdly utilized in this season.
She's being nerfed.
Yeah, she hasn't been my favorite this season.
They're just like pushing her off to the side, but also
it is called Loki.
Yeah, and I mean,
but she is Loki.
She is Loki.
Yeah,
but she's Sylvie.
She is Sylvie.
They wouldn't have named her a different character.
She's pulled herself away from the Loki moniker.
For someone who basically caused all the shit that's going on, she's done a whole lot of nothing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, she was already on the crusade of like taking down the TVA when it started, like when they started
the first season. Yeah.
Yeah. So why is all of a sudden she's like, oh, cool, I killed the dude. We're kind of close. We could figure something out. But she's like, nah, I'd rather fucking work at this fucking Mickey D's.
I mean, if they put more, I think it's just that she hasn't been in the season enough with enough like impactful moments to, because I can buy the fact that she's traumatized by everything. And so she like just doesn't want to deal with any of it. Like still wants the TVA to burn, whatever. I can buy that. There just hasn't been enough actual on screen like showing of that for it to be like satisfying, I think is what it is. They're kind of just expecting us to understand like she fucking went through it, bro. Like she's been running her whole life, so of course it makes sense. And it's just a little bit annoying.
Yeah,
just a little bit. But otherwise super solid, really shit. Cool. I think they're definitely going the route of because recently in the comic books Loki has been rebranded. Juicy. He's no longer the god of mischief. He's the god of stories now.
He's the god of sex appeal.
Yeah, he really is. But I think that this last line that he has is very much kind of putting them in line with that, because he's like, I can rewrite the story or whatever, you know. And I think people have said that like they have seen clips from trailers and stuff that have come out where like he is in his classic Loki garb, and obviously we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
So I assume he's gonna sport a dope new Loki cape and horns.
Loki, the first Avenger, bro.
Yeah, I guess so.
Loki,
right?
the
Yeah,
first
the first
Avenger.
multiversal Avenger.
Loki, the first.
Nah, he's not an Avenger, bro.
He's Loki.
He's Loki, dude.
He's the guy.
He's honestly cooler like than
He's
some
pretty
of
cool.
the Avengers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's way cooler than an Avenger.
cooler
He
than
has
Hawkeye.
magic,
He
and he
does.
can fucking
Cooler than
time
Black
slip.
Widow.
That's true.
He
Yeah.
can go to different timelines. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Cooler than Avengers Thor.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Yeah.
Still not cooler than Cap or Iron Man though,
No.
if you ask me.
No, I don't think so either.
They're the best.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. But I really
Like
like
cooler how?
Cooler how?
Because I think Loki's probably cooler than Captain America.
No, I don't think so.
I think Captain America just
Captain
has.
America fucks, bro.
Captain America's the best. I think Captain America is the best character in the MCU, hands
Captain
down.
America fucks, bro.
He
What
does.
are you talking about?
That's true. Yeah, I think
Smangs Tang and fucking Slangs fucking. What are they called? Fuck.
I don't know.
I can't remember. I almost had something there.
He fucks his girls that he had a crush on. Her granddaughter.
Don't we all fuck girls that we have crushes on?
He slept with somebody on the tour, remember? He got
Yeah.
laid back in World War II.
But
That's
also,
the whole
yeah.
joke in She-Hulk.
But also, yeah. Peggy Carter.
Yeah, that's weird. No, I think just, I
Is it
mean, it
though?
might just be a personal
He's like,
thing.
oh, I really liked your grandma back in the day.
Your
You're
grandma
close
was
enough.
Fucking
Yeah.
fine.
No,
You kind of
for-
look like your grandma.
For sure, super
Also
weird.
not close
But they also were smart and just ditched it after a while. And they're like, nah, he should just go back in time and be with Peggy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. If you ask, it could just be
But
a
I
personal
don't think
thing, but-
Loki's cooler than Iron Man. I don't think anyone gets cooler than Robbie Downey Jr. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
I think Loki's a close second. Tom Hiddleston's a close second. But Robert Downey Jr. is just a cool ass dude.
Yeah.
Iron Man's just Iron Man's just a cool ass dude.
When I say cool, I don't necessarily mean like cool factor. Because, like, yeah, obviously
Just
Loki
mean,
is
like, cool.
cooler than like most of the other characters. Because Captain America's a fucking nerd. But I just mean in terms of like liking them as a character, I'll take Cap over Loki any day, easily. Like, not even a contest.
Eh.
For me,
No, I know,
even
yeah.
new Prime Loki now, like he's great. He's probably like within my top 5. But I'm just a sucker for the original Avengers, man. Like those, yeah.
I wouldn't say he's super cool as Blade.
Blade is
Yeah.
awesome.
Blade's
He's
the
probably the
coolest.
coolest.
Yeah.
That
He's
shit's
the
got
coolest.
some.
Yeah.
That shit's having some problems.
Oh my
bro.
god!
I don't know how that's gonna be.
I don't know. It's screaming for help, and no one's paying attention. The lifeguard is making out with the other lifeguard, and this thing is drowning.
Mahershala Ali is just drowning, bro.
He almost left.
Yeah, he did.
He almost left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You literally have one of the coolest dudes also.
Seriously.
Right here. To play
Greatest
Blade.
actors of our
Yeah.
recent time.
And you're
I'm not-
fucking it up.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Bummer.
Fucking it up. Get your shit together for real. Don't fuck this up.
Yeah, but I really liked it. I'm very, very excited to see what happens in the season
Still
finale.
the best show.
Yeah,
Still the best
100%, hands
Disney
down.
Plus Marvel show.
Yeah, easily.
I'm very interested for the season finale because I feel like we still got a lot to do.
Well, I think one of the things to keep in mind
How
is
many
that
episodes
I don't.
are there left? 3?
No,
One.
this is it. It's only
What?
6
One.
series. Yeah, it's only
Oh,
6
it's only
episode
6.
series.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then.
The other thing to keep in mind as well is that I don't think they ever had any intention of wrapping up this stuff within this season. I think it was always guaranteed to spill over into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's
Yeah.
very much going to be a cliffhanger season where it's like they'll solve an immediate problem of like all the timelines collapsing or something like that, right? Or get close to it. But I think it's very much going to be like, oh, well, all the Kangs are still coming. Get ready for the next movie.
Kang
kind of
steps
vibes.
in. He's like, "Get ready for Secret Wars.
Yeah, seriously.
Get ready for Kang Dynasty."
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not Jonathan Majors though.
I think they're going to
Yeah.
probably pivot. I think they're going
Yeah.
to go to Doom.
Have you seen
Don't
that?
do
That they're gonna
that,
pivot to Doctor Doom.
I'd be
I think-
okay with that.
I think they should have just done that from the
want-
beginning.
they
Honestly,
should
I think
have.
Doom should have just
They
been the
should
one
have,
from the
but
beginning.
I don't want
Especially if
them
it
to
had
fuck
Secret
up
Wars.
Doom by you making him like a saver of like what they've fucking ruined.
No, I think what they should do, and I hope that they go this route, is
'Cause
that
he is the ultimate.
I would very much like it if the Avenger or whatever team Loki puts together cannot handle the Kangs. Like Kang Dynasty comes out and everything they do like very Infinity
And
War,
Doom
right?
comes
They
in
do
and
everything.
fucking
Yeah,
whops 'em.
yeah. Like the good guys
That's your Doom.
lose, and
That's
then
your
Doom
Doom.
shows up at the end of Kang Dynasty and is like just eradicates every single Kang in
That's
like
your Doom,
one
bro.
fell swoop, and
Yeah.
it's just like. I'm rewriting history now, bitches. Get ready for Secret War.
So you know that panel from like the comics where Doom literally like rips Thanos' like spine.
Yeah, give me that.
Just does that, but
Give
just
me
with
that
Kang.
with Kang. Yeah, give me that. That's what I want.
End it. End it all.
Yeah.
Cast him.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't know. I would take Nick. His name's like Nikolai Coster-Waldau or whatever. He's the guy who played Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. I think you started watching that, right?
I saw the first 3.
You've never watched Game of Thrones?
No, I saw the first 3 seasons of it.
I would take him. I would be down for him. He's a fan casting that I've seen. Other than him, I can't really think of anybody. He's the incest brother.
Yeah.
There's like
Cersei and the Kingslayer.
Yeah, the Kingslayer. Yeah. I would take him.
Kingslayer.
He's a good actor, and I think he could be solid. I would also take Michael Fassbender if they don't give a shit about multiversal stuff. I think he would be a good Doom. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I don't really care. I miss the old days of when Marvel went for unknown actors. Mm-hmm. I don't really want them to like continue this trend of like casting people that we already know because it just puts too much expectation. Mm-hmm. Just give me people that I've never seen before.
It also just risks people just being like, fuck that person.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Well, because they come with their own baggage already. So like just cast unknowns or relatively unknowns. But I don't know.
Go for C-list actors.
Yeah, I'm down for them to pivot to Doom, honestly, if that's what needs to get done. Because, like I said, like I think that's what should have happened from the beginning.
Yeah, they fuck up,
I'm a big Doom guy. Like, not that I wasn't down for Kang, but I was like, fuck, dude. Like, to me, the most like sensible big bad to go to after Thanos is Doom. Like,
I don't think Kang is a bad choice. I think that it's just. They have had problems with the behind the scenes stuff, and so
he's not a bad choice. But it's like if you were gonna up that ante, I feel like Doom is the one
Doom
that
was
like
always the end goal. Kang just ensured that they extended their life basically to make it run longer.
That's true. Yeah, I guess when they put these plans in, place, they probably didn't have the rights to Doom yet.
No, they did. So, that's a good point.
Yeah. So they were like, okay, we got it. So that makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know.
That's the thing is, it's like I don't know that it's necessarily. That like Kang was the wrong choice. I think it's just for one, some of the stuff that they did has not resonated with fans, which is totally fine. And beyond that, again, the behind the scenes stuff is just too fucking messy. Like it just makes it too difficult, and it's unfortunate that such a great actor did some shit that got him into trouble. I was sad about that. And he's going on trial again. That's the reason why the rumors have been coming out of like, oh, if it doesn't work out for him, then they have a backup plan, whatever, blah blah blah. So it's just. To me, it's just unfortunate circumstances more than anything. I don't think it's bad planning. I don't think it's for lack of trying. I think it's shit got screwed up, man. Yeah. It's not their fault. Shit just happened, man. Yeah. Real life fucking hit is what it was. In their world of superheroes and fantasy and stuff, real life fucking smacked Marvel in the face, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Unfortunately.
No pun, but it's okay. It's okay. I've said this before on this podcast, and I've said this. What did I pun? Smacked.
He hit a girl.
Oh. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Definitely no pun intended. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've said this before on this podcast. And I think I've said this both to you individually. Is it's like, I am more than happy with what the Infinity Saga is. If the MCU was twice as dog shit as people say it is now, I would still be okay. Like, I'm content as a Marvel fan with how much we were spoiled for those 10 years. Yeah. And I too am fine with where we're at. I don't. It's okay. I'm not as disappointed as some other fans.
It doesn't need to be better than what it was.
No. Yeah.
It's hard to do that a second time, let alone try to make your second iteration of that even better than
because also no matter what happens, some little kid will have his end game with whatever's going to happen.
That's true. They're going to grow up alongside this.
Whatever big bombastic thing is next that is somewhat the equivalent that they decide to put on the same, like the next to the pedestal of it, some little kid who was born in fucking 2017, 2018.
That happened with us too, right? Because like I can look back at like something like Dark World now and be like, yeah, that movie's ass. But when it came out, I was like down for more Thor movies. Super down. So like obviously I think that's the one thing that is funny is it's like as much as we are big nerds and a lot of people are like older now who like these movies, essentially at the end of the day these are movies that are made for younger audiences. I won't go so as far as to say just children, but they are made for younger audiences.
Endgame and Infinity War are fucking insane, and that feeling was almost pretty much unrivaled. Yeah, well, mostly unrivaled. But honestly, the feeling in 2012 watching the Avengers,
this is a beautiful moment. One of the greatest moments in cinema history.
Shit!
Bro.
I feel like that fucking old dude who's loading up fucking GoldenEye in front of his kid to whoop his ass. Like
nostalgia.
Ooh, yeah, that shit gets me going, bro. That shit's
really good.
Well, it's like that. Literally, like if you think about it, the run from literally Iron Man 1 till then is probably gonna be. It's gonna go down as one of the greatest runs in like movie history. Like
100%.
Like,
I think if
like,
it's
unprecedented, bro. Like,
I would even say Iron Man to Endgame, bro. I think the Infinity Saga is one of the greatest.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that Avengers.
Iron Man 1 to that
one
is
of the greatest achievements in movie making history.
They have because they have so much like heat and momentum going in throughout that whole saga that even when they have the kind of not so good ones, it doesn't lose the traction.
It doesn't matter.
He just wiggles
it's kind
a
of insane.
Bit.
It's pretty
It's
crazy.
like getting a little speed wobbles, but it straightens back out. When you hit that Thor Dark World or that Captain Marvel in there, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. It doesn't need to be as good as the other stuff.
It's all right.
It's still going to be fun. It might not be fantastic. It might not be world-shattering, game-ending shit or anything like that. But I think it'll still be fun, and it'll still be crazy. And I've heard a lot of rumors that they are probably going to lean very heavily on nostalgia and that they're going to recruit.
They already are, man. We have Loki paving this whole new way for us.
Yeah, because the other thing I've heard is that they're going to recruit the prime superhero from each universe. So we'll get like
Toby Spider-Man,
a Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's what those are apparently going to be our leads for Secret Wars. And I don't like that idea.
I don't at all. I don't.
But I'm not going to complain when it happens because when I see it, I'm going to fucking
Toby
cry.
or Andrew?
Yeah.
I feel like Toby's get more use out of Andrew.
You would, but people, if you set up the precedent that like we need the prime Spider-Man, if you pick Andrew, people are gonna rage.
Toby means more to more people than Andrew does.
Yeah. I understand from an in-universe standpoint, he's
Andrew's,
probably a more viable Spider-Man, but because we're dealing with fans, it has to be Toby. It couldn't be anybody else.
Chad Kroger and all.
Yeah, 100%. Damn, how viral would that be though? Toby steps out of a portal. It's like,
I am so high, I can hear heaven.
I would cry. I would bawl like a fucking baby, bro. It'd be epic.
Oh god.
Yeah. I don't. Like I said, I don't love that idea.
World
but again,
full of killing and blood spilling.
What if the Andrew Garfield version of Spider-Man that fucking was killing people? Stop
pulling punches.
Yeah, you didn't say he's killing people.
Hey man, when Spider-Man's not pulling his punches, what the fuck is gonna happen?
Breaking ribs and shit, breaking arms and
someone's gonna fucking die.
Batman level,
possibly.
Someone's gonna fucking
die. Possibly.
People are dying.
Your regular bank robber that Spider-Man is stopping and not pulling his punches against is gonna fucking die.
Here's what's happening.
Here's what's
happening. Sad reality. What's gonna happen is the criminals who are doing the crime to put bread on the table for their families because they're so fucking poor who don't have good health care are not gonna have the kind of like health care to take care of the wounds that he inflicts, and they will die. Spider-Man's killing the poor.
Oh no, Spider-Man's purging.
Yeah. Spider-Man's a 1%er. You heard it here first, folks.
That's some J. Jonah Jameson.
He's a menace.
That's a Daily Bugle take right
on the
there,
purge,
bro.
someone's like, wow, look at Spider-Man. You just see him like web swing towards someone, just completely like
give me the money.
Obliterate them.
I love it too when like you see the memes online because like obviously the finishers in the video games for both Batman and Spider-Man go for flash over like substance, but it's hilarious because like no way bro's alive. He's like fucking getting like knocked up into the air by Peter and then like rib kicked by Miles like at full swing.
That's what I'm saying. You're telling me a regular person
if you have
like I gotta go to the hospital. No, you're
if
dead.
You have to go into slow motion to show somebody how hard you got hit, you're dead.
Yeah. I think for story purposes, they're probably not dead. Practically speaking, yeah, they'd fucking die if they got hit by a superhuman. But because it's Spider-Man, they're probably not dead.
I know. They're
just severely broken.
I like how like Peter the entire time is like fucking people up, like and throwing them through walls and destroying them. And then there's the one scene where he throws the guy through the glass and he's like, "Ooh, you might want to ice that." It's like you just threw people through buildings back there.
I just web zipped somebody to the ground from a skyscraper.
This person plummeted 30 stories and then web zipped to the side of the building at like full velocity. Yeah, no.
Doesn't make sense, but it's
I'm
okay.
Spider-Man and I just kicked someone off a building, and then I just went back to beating up the other people.
Yeah.
And just forgot about that person.
I do like
that person's dead.
Well, no, have you seen the? Because I do like it. Insomniac had the foresight, right? It's like if you kick somebody off of a building, automatically they will get a tripwire web attached to them, and they'll attach to the building. Like the bodies won't fall, and you can look afterwards.
I've always loved that.
The bodies at the floor. Let the bodies at the floor.
Headphones users warning. Yeah, but anyways, Loki, episode 5,
Great stuff,
season 2, really good.
Doing a good job.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It was a little slow for my liking, but like you said, it's prime filler. So it's the lowest rating for me out of all the episodes, but not to say that it's a bad episode by any means. I think it's really good, and it sets me up to get excited for the season finale for sure. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I think I'm at 8.5. Last Invincible was at 8.5. This one I'm at 8.5.
Nice.
I was down.
Yeah.
Give it an 8 as well, too. Yeah.
No.
Nice.
Good shit.
Good shit.
Hell yeah.
Good.
But all right, shall we move on
To the main course.
to the fucked up movies that we're going to talk about?
I had a hard time with Prisoners. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Zodiac freaked me out, but I've seen it before. I've only seen Prisoners once before this. I've watched Zodiac a bunch. So it still freaked me out. But yeah, Prisoners got me fucked up, dog. I was like much younger when I watched it the first time, so I don't think I realized everything that was going on. It was hardcore. Shit's fucked up, bro.
I didn't watch it and I haven't seen it in a long time. So
Okay.
you guys are good on this one. But
yeah.
Zodiac, I know that movie all the way through. I've seen it like a billion times.
Yeah.
We're good on that one.
Yeah. What shall we do first?
Shall we do Prisoners first?
Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
just get into that one.
Yeah, we'll remind you of
I'll
stuff.
remember as long as we wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys have not watched Prisoners, basically
Big
this
time
is
spoilers.
You didn't know, didn't?
big time spoilers. This is basically a movie with Hugh Jackman,
Jake Gyllenhaal,
bunch of other people that
Viola Davis, Terrence Howard.
Yes, Terrence Howard. Oh yes, that's someone I always forget. When I watch this, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot Terrence Howard is in this movie.
Yeah.
But yes, a very religious man and his family, are having Thanksgiving dinner with Terrence Howard and his family. When their daughters go to their house to look for some, like, one of her toys or one of her whistles, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And the daughters end up going missing. So it's a story about Hugh Jackman, doing what he can as a father to protect his family and also look for his daughter. And Jake Gyllenhaal being a detective Loki.
I know,
actually,
yeah.
pretty sick.
Yeah.
Doing what he can as a detective to,
Try
to solve the case and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
It's good. I think that something that this movie does really well is like the personal stakes that are involved. The ones with the families are very obvious, but I think they do a good job of like putting Loki in the shoes of like, I need to solve this because we understand that. And like Jake Gyllenhaal's Loki has never left a case unsolved. Every case that he has ever worked on, he has solved. So there's like this personal stake for him too. Yes. Of like, nah, I'm gonna find your fucking daughter. Like, no way. Yeah. But yeah, super dark. I think it's very much reminded me of like Last of Us in the sense of like how far would you go to protect your own? Yeah. And
very far.
I would argue very much too far in terms of what Hugh Jackman does in this movie. Especially when all of the facts are revealed at the end and you realize that he was dead wrong, completely fucking wrong.
he was almost right. He was on the right track. He was almost there,
I guess.
He had his heartbeat sensor and it went off, but he just grabbed the wrong person,
I guess. Yeah.
He was almost there.
He didn't know about why, because the other thing too, okay, so maybe you can clear this up for me, but like, I don't understand how he connected the dots at the end of the movie. Because like, basically, okay, so not to rush into it, but a brief synopsis of everything that happens is that there's this creepy camper out front and they find the camper and it happens to be Paul Dano, who is a low IQ, super creepy looking dude, and he is the prime suspect in Hugh Jackman's eyes in terms of who kidnapped his daughters. So Hugh Jackman takes it upon himself to also kidnap Paul Dano and continue to torture him for days, possibly even like a week on end, basically trying to get the information out of him as to where his daughter is. Doesn't get shit up until like a certain point where Paul Dano kind of slowly gives these cryptic messages, never really gives him any concrete stuff.
In the movie, his name is Alex. And at one point, he starts to say, like, I'm not Alex.
Yeah. And then he says, like,
just like, what the fuck?
You'll find her in the maze. Kind of very cryptic, right? Nothing that I think really gives it away. And then Joy is found, who is Terrence Howard and Viola Davis's daughter, because they were abducted together. She is found and freaks out, looks at Hugh Jackman and says, you were there. And then he's like, oh, I get it now. I know what happened. And again, that's why I'm asking, like, maybe it made more sense to you. But to me, I was like, that makes no fucking sense. I don't understand how he just figured out that it was the old lady all of a sudden. 'Cause I don't know if you remember, but so basically what happens is that Alex, the creepy Paul Dano character, was also abducted by his aunt. His aunt and her husband were crazy motherfuckers. They lost their son to cancer. And so they waged a war on God by kidnapping children to drive people into becoming horrible like Hugh Jackman does. And so the reveal at the end is that it was actually this old lady who has continuously kidnapped kids for like the last 15 to 20 years. Mm-hmm. That's how the movie...
Her and her husband did it.
Yeah.
And then her husband went missing. Yeah. And she was like, I'm going to just keep
doing it or whatever. Yeah. So like, that's the big reveal at the end is it's like, oh, it was the auntie all along, or it was Agatha all along, or whatever. But again, for me, I was like, I don't understand how he figured it out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like super explicit on like...
I mean, the movie is ambiguous as it is.
I don't know.
I think the water's running over there. Yeah.
The movie is pretty ambiguous. It's not trying to spell anything out for you. So I will say that. Like,
I don't fucking remember any of that at all.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think what it was is I think because he had gone...
He went to the house before, right?
He had gone
all
to the
I
house.
remember is like Hugh Jackman's wet goatee. That's the vibe that I have.
And Jake Gyllenhaal's blinking.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Apparently he came up with that for the character. He's like, I think this character would fucking do some shit like that. And
makes
like,
sense.
All right, cool.
Yeah, he's autistic.
No.
Smart people like that are always autistic, bro.
Who knows? That's not explicitly stated. I got the vibe that it was more that he was like an ex-user of something, possibly like an upper, and he's.
I think it was also like he was an orphan kid that was probably sexually abused.
Okay.
Because there's one point in the movie where he's investigating the shit, right? He's they're going through all their investigation. He's like, I got a list of like 9 former like pedophiles, blah blah, or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go check them out. One of them was a priest.
Yep.
And he's like, he goes to the house, he's knocking on the door, father, no one's answering. He looks through the window, he sees the father like knocked out like on the floor, and he's like, what the fuck? Goes inside the house. One of like the first instances of when we see like this dude doesn't give a fuck, he's not gonna like wait for a warrant or anything. If he sees something's open, he's gonna fucking go into the house or something like that, or he's gonna make an opening, right?
Yeah.
So he goes in, realizes the priest is just fucking passed out asleep because he's been drinking, whatever.
Classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic.
And so he starts snooping around, notices like the fridge is moved, and he's just like, this fucking guy. And so moves it away.
It's like a secret door.
Yeah, moves it away, finds a secret door. He's like, what the fuck? Opens it. It goes to a basement, and there's like no stairs. So he has to like
Dirty
jump.
little pervert.
Yeah.
No, well, he has to jump down, and he's, going around looking, has his
Also
flashlight.
Classic.
Yeah, flashlight, turns around. There's like a chair, and you see like a corpse like tied to the fucking chair.
Yeah.
And like he goes up, and it's this dude that you can see has just like been there for like forever, whatever. Has this like.
How bad?
He looks like a charred corpse.
Yeah,
like
charred corpse, like shriveled up, all that fucking shit.
Skin is gone. Like
15 years has been sitting down.
No,
there?
probably not that long. No? I don't think so.
I don't know what the decomposition.
I will say this is that I don't think the movie probably took into account the actual timeline, because if it is like matched up with like when the wife says he died, I think he would for sure be bones by then, but he's not. So I don't think they really cared that much.
Would be bones.
Yeah, but yeah, it just looks creepy.
It does. It looks.
And
creepy.
It has this necklace on, and where was I fucking going?
Got a necklace on.
About how Jake Gyllenhaal might have been sexually assaulted.
Oh yeah. And then so he fucking brings the priest over, like wakes him up, and then like fucking pins him up against, and he's like trying to tell him, he's like, who is this fucking dude? Blah blah. Tell me about this dude. Blah.
Oh, you're so strong
or whatever.
Now.
And he's just like, he's like, I'm from this boys' home or whatever, And he's like, I bet a lot of boys from that home wouldn't mind if I like fucked you up a little bit. Doesn't say fucked you up, but insinuates like if I beat the fuck out of you right now,
people would be
like the place
where
I'm from, the orphanage that I'm from, would be happy because, assumably, he probably as priests do, sexually assault young boys.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. Actually, that wasn't like a context clue that I picked up on, but now that you explain it, I could see that. That makes sense.
It's a nice little like when you pick it up, like a nice way to give exposition without explicitly saying like, "Hey, you remember the orphanage where I'm from, where you sexually assaulted those little boys?"
Yeah, definitely. Do you remember what you did to me?
Right?
Like,
yeah, it's too much to sometimes just say it out, right? It's always better just.
It's better to leave it in the background. Yeah.
So he is like,
it feels more real. Yeah, because like I imagine that like a victim of sexual assault wouldn't go around being Batman. Like, you dare, like yelling that shit out. So it feels more realistic, more grounded. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and so I think he's just one of those guys that is just fucked up from some shit.
Big time.
You see he has like religious like tattoos on himself, so he's religious in himself, but
seems like
he's a cop. He's a detective, so he's like pretty reasonable as well.
Yeah.
He understands the religious aspects, but he understands like there's logic and reason to things and stuff. So yeah, I thought this was a really good movie. You know, Hugh Jackman is like at
demented in
his
this movie,
best in this shit. Like, it's super crazy. Yeah, he's demented, but he's just so fucking good in this movie. So compelling.
He's scary.
Yeah, makes such a good plays such a good, you know, religious dad.
I think the movie does a good job of putting him on like a roller coaster of sympathy, because in the beginning of the movie, obviously you feel for him and his family because she's abducted. And then very quickly, I started to think that he was a bit of a piece of shit, because he's very much just like, do what the fuck I'm telling you to do, Jake Gyllenhaal, or I'm going to freak out. I don't care about due process. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. Fucking do what I'm telling you, or this is your fault. It's like, you're the reason why she's not found yet. So I'm like, all right, I get it. You're going through it, man, but you're kind of being an asshole. Bub. Yeah. So
but it's like what? But it's like, how else are you gonna act when your child is missing?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Is up to that point, it's understandable. You're still off put by him, I would say, but it's understandable. And then he goes full on just wrong, overboard, really bad. Like, kidnapping is bad enough as it is, but then he goes full on torture, because at first he's just beating Paul Dano. Then he builds him a little box that he can only sit and stand in that has no light, and he rigs it in a shower so that it either goes freezing cold or scalding hot. And he literally burns his ass like, and is like, tell me where my daughter is, kind of shit. So like, at that point, I think for me, the sympathy was completely gone. Like, I was like, he's too far gone now. Like, even if he finds his daughter,
now, bro.
He's ruined.
It's
like,
a story about a man struggling, like, in the face of evil. Like, how can you, like, are you going to be able to keep your faith? Like, because he is a very religious guy. And that's why I like the incorporation of, like, the Our Father prayer. Like, in the beginning, you hear him say it, like, before, like, him and his son, like, kill the deer or whatever. You know, like, saying a prayer before they kill someone that's going to feed their family, blah, blah, or whatever. And then he says it a couple times. I don't know if he says it a couple times through the movie, but there is a point where he is like torturing.
Trying to say it.
You know, he's trying to say it, and he gets to the point of the Our Father talking about forgiving those who have like trespassed against you or whatever, and he can't say it, you know? And he's like,
he knows that he can't do it in real life.
And so he's like really struggling. He's this guy that is very, very devoted to his faith, and now he's like struggling to keep that faith. And it's just like, fuck, dude, you like really get to see him like go down that path of like, fuck, dude, do I even believe in this shit anymore? But then, you know, ultimately, like towards the end when he is like literally in the pits of hell, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I think that's what they do a good job of by the end of the movie. Is it's like they bring the sympathy back because he realizes he was wrong. He even understands, like, oh shit, I went too far. And then the dude gets shot in the leg and is bleeding out and is like dropped in a fucking pitch black hole. And like his daughter is safe because Jake Gyllenhaal comes through and barely fucking saves her. But he's fucked. It's left ambiguous at the end. I would assume that he gets pulled out of the hole.
I would love to believe that he gets pulled out of the hole.
Yeah, and more than for sure goes to jail. Like, no way he gets off from that shit. Yeah. But I think, like I said, it's a good roller coaster of sympathy where it's like, oh man, that's crazy, to like, oh shit, you're kind of going a little ham here, to, oh fuck, you're lost, to, damn, this fucker is gone through it and now he's just left to suffer. I kind of hope he at least lives. Like, does he still deserve justice? Yeah, like the fucker should go to jail afterwards, but I hope that you at least live. Like, I don't want you to die by the end of it. It's crazy. It's a very intense character. It's pretty hardcore. It is for sure, I would say, one of the best performances I've seen from him. I agree with you. He's still better as Wolverine though.
He's basically just Wolverine. Like, especially the scene when he like is slamming the hammer into like the sink.
You can hear the Wolverine yell.
And he's like, Tommy! Like, I'm like, oh,
I hear it in my head.
You are Wolverine.
You know that.
I hear it.
But it's just the fact that that happens in anything he's in. Everything I've ever seen him in, he's just Wolverine.
It's like
got screwed,
you know,
dude.
Not to get too ahead, but like when you watch Robert Downey Jr. and a lot of shit, you're like, oh, there's Tony Stark. There's Iron Man.
100%. Yeah.
But
he just embodied the character so well. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's good.
Good guy.
I would say one of my favorite parts of Prisoners 2 is how many times they like lead you on to think someone is like the kidnapper, and they're just like, ho ho ho, they're actually not. You know?
Yeah. The first they go on Paul Dano, Alex. Then I think it's David Damastin or something. He's the Baba Yaga guy from Ant-Man.
Baba Yaga. David Dashmalan.
Dashmalan. There you go. He shows up and is presumably also another victim.
Yep.
Because he's like grown up as well, but he basically is doing the dirty work for the auntie. And crazy fucked up how well thought out this plan is. But basically what happens is that the auntie actually kidnaps these girls. Yeah. And then David whatever I apologize, I can't pronounce his
Dashmalan?
Dashmalan, thank you.
I think so.
David Dashmalan
I might be saying
sneaks into the victims' houses and steals their clothes from the house while the family is so like he sneaks into Hugh Jackman's house, right? And he steals his daughter's socks, then puts fake pig's blood on them and stuffs them in a like box that's locked to make it look like he killed them and kept the clothes.
Well, that fool's not even part of it. He's just so traumatized from what happened as a kid, from being kidnapped, that he just does that shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay. I figured that was part of her plan,
like she
too.
makes a comment like when, I don't know if, I think when she, when Hugh Jackman finally goes back to like the auntie's house at the end, and she's like telling him like, you know, it's when the villain tells like the whole plan, blah, 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 or whatever. She's like, oh, I didn't even know that fool was still fucking alive, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So it was just like, that fool was literally so traumatized. Like he was just so fucked up and just like would go and steal children's clothes and just go do that shit. So then
they were actually right, because like the other people who do like the forensic analysis stuff were like, guy's probably just an imitator. And it's like not in the way that they thought, but he was really at the end just an imitator. Like, of what the trauma that he went through. Yeah, exactly. That's good. Yeah. No, it's good. It's solid. Really, really fucked up. It is for sure. Like
Das Mulchin.
David
Das Mulchin.
Of recent memory, and this movie came out like 10 years ago. It was 2013. But in terms of the movies that I have watched, it's for sure one of the more difficult watches of recent
what's his
memory.
name? Dennis, how do you say his last name?
Villeneuve? It's Dune guy. The guy who directed Dune.
Dennis Villeneuve.
I was tripped out. Did not know.
Yeah, who directed Dune?
The new Dune.
Oh, I don't know.
He also did Sicario.
Yeah.
Never saw Sicario.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, you need to watch that. That shit's hard.
That's Benicio, right? Not Benicio.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, right.
I think Brolin's in there too.
Brolin, and so is Emily Blunt as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Dennis, I don't know how he's French. Yeah, but he's the guy who directed the new Dunes.
Yeah.
Dune Part 1 and Part 2. But yeah, it's really good. I like I think the breadcrumbs in this movie are very good. Because again, like you said, there's a lot of times where they kind of pull the wool over your eyes and you're like, oh fuck, this is not connected after all. Like they were chasing a dead lead. And then when everything's
this
revealed,
guy made Arrival too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He's a great director.
Yeah,
he's
a good movie.
He's really good.
He's ridiculous. Has a crazy track record.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do a good job of like making you think like, oh, this is a dead end. It actually wasn't connected after all. And then at the end, like you said, when the evil villain does explain her plan, everything was connected. Even they bring in like an old man, the priest, and he's like sitting there dazed in like the interrogation room, and he's like, they wanted to wage a war on God. And like in the context beforehand.
Okay, sure, buddy.
Yeah, well, that's what you think, right? But then at the end, when the villain is revealing her plan, the auntie literally says, we were waging a war on God. So it's like,
how does one go about waging a war on God?
Well, they were just, so initially her and her husband were very devout, like Christians and stuff like that, very religious. And then their son got cancer and their son died. Yeah. And then so they, go through what parents go through when they lose their children and like never came out of that, yeah, exactly. And blame God. And they're like, we're going to now do this to people who are religious. So they lose their faith as well and feel what we feel.
Oh. Yeah. So that's the war they're waging on God. They're trying to pull people away from the belief that like
a lot of religious themes in this movie for sure.
But not overly stated, I would say. Like I don't think it's the main focus of the movie by any means. It's like I think it's the main theme, but I don't think it's like explicit in the story. I think it's more like the undertones of what the story's about rather than like they're not beating you over the head with it. Like you have to pull it from the context clues aside from when they pray and stuff like that.
There's like hella shots where they're like, oh, shot from the car, and you just see like his cross dangling from like the freaking.
But see, again, that's better to me than him being like, I'm a religious man, Detective Loki. Don't fuck with me, blah 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 blah. Like it's more. They're not telling you; they're showing you. That's so. I think it's better than just exposition, in my opinion. Yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. I like it. It's
solid.
Pretty long.
How long is it?
2:33, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, not as long as Zodiac, but
I think Zodiac's like 2:40.
Yeah, it's a little longer.
That's a hefty movie.
Zodiac's too long, actually. Upon watching it again, I think Zodiac's way too long. Yeah, but we'll get to that. Yeah, I really like it. Like I said, it's definitely a very challenging watch. I think it's like puts you through your paces in terms of like, watching how fucked up people can be and like how far they'll go and stuff like that.
Also for God.
Also
for or because of God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, based off certain beliefs and whatnot.
Crazy shit.
Super good performances from basically everybody in the movie. Like, I don't think there was like a single weak performance. Everybody's good. I like it a lot. I give it like an 8 out of 10. I'm just sitting at 8s today, like 7s and 8s all day. Yeah.
Sitting at 8s, yeah.
Sitting at 8s, man.
Yeah, I like this movie, especially watching it again. What I noticed this time is like, because the big thing towards the end, especially you realize like, there's like that Trans Am that's sitting outside of her house, and then you realize like there's literally the pit underneath the Trans Am. You move it, and fucking Hugh Jackman gets dropped in there, and you realize the first time Hugh Jackman, or she tells him like the first time you came over to the house, like this is where I had blah blah blah, your daughter or whatever, she was in here,
Yeah. See, so that was the thing I was confused about, because like I get that he did go to the house once before, but the real fuck you to me was that when Detective Loki shows up at the house, he walks up and like, again, just like the classic serial killer / kidnapper thing of like kind of rubbing in your face that they're smarter than you. She literally tells Jake Gyllenhaal or Detective Loki like, oh, it's a busted car, it's for sale, you want it? And he's like, nah, I'm good. And she's like, fucking idiot.
I will say like that's the thing I was getting at, is like so clever. There's so many like shots in the beginning where like you first go to the house and it's just like boom, the Trans Am is just like in the shot.
Yep.
And then it's just like, it's here.
They show you everything.
Look it. It's here. It's here. But you're just like not privy to it yet. And then like that's what I noticed like the second time around. I was like, oh wow, look at this shot. It's literally just sitting and looking at the car for like a few seconds. Like,
I didn't remember what the actual final twist was, because the entire time I was watching the movie, I remembered the scene where Joy is like, you were there. And that was all I remembered from the ending. So I assumed that Hugh Jackman was the bad guy the whole time, and he was just putting on a front, and that he actually kidnapped the 2 little girls.
He's like, I kidnapped my own daughter.
Some shit, I don't know. People have done more fucked up shit than that, right? So like that was the like theory that I had in my head the whole time. So it was still a good surprise to me, because I didn't remember how the ending went. I was not privy to that information anymore. Yeah, it's gone in the brain tank. So
yeah, I think I give this one like a 9. I'm at a 9 on this one. I love this. I love like the way this movie is crafted. Obviously, this is a really dark movie, so I'm gonna be like, oh, I fucking love this movie. But it's just like you sit down and when you watch like a really fucking good movie, like this is a movie right here that's crafted really well, has a crazy story, the acting's on point. A lot of the camera work is on point. It's like not anything that's like super overwhelming. It's not over the top. You're not like, oh my god, this is a super crazy shot. But like, good shots, though. But everything really is like everything is done very well, and it's done very purposefully in this film.
There's a really good one where they have like an overhead shot of the woods, and it's like the classic like search party thing, right? Where you have them all in the flashlights, but like half of the screen is just darkness, and then the other half is like the people with the flashlights like pushing. It's really good. It's super creepy. It looks freaky as fuck. Yeah, it's good.
And like the last scene when he's driving her to like the hospital,
it's also good.
That one's really sick.
Yeah, because so basically, in the climax of the film, Jake Gyllenhaal shows up and realizes shit's going down. And fucking crazy old fucking Auntie Ethel is like fucking, that's not her name, but shoots at him and fucking nicks him in the eye right here. So he's like bleeding like hella into his eye and stuff, and his vision's getting all blurry, but he kills her. Right. But she fucking dosed the daughter, Hugh Jackman's daughter, with like some poison. So she's like foaming at the mouth and shit in the back of his car. But it's raining and it's nighttime and he's bleeding over his eye. So there's like this really intense moment where like you're not sure if he's going to crash because he's like barely swerving out of the way of shit, and he's like trying to rush to the hospital. And it is very tense. Like it is edge of your fucking seat, nail biting. Like, oh my God, you finally saved her, bro. Don't fucking crash. Dear God, please get her to the hospital. It's really good.
What always gets me is like this fool pulls her out of the car. There's people visibly in the emergency room, and he's like, help!
And they're just
help.
Like, what's going on out there?
Even like he like runs in and she's like, he's like, help, and like no one is like running towards him.
He walks inside and you hear nothing. He's just like,
no one's like, oh my God,
everyone?
Oh my God, this guy's bleeding, go get her.
Beyond that, there's a small girl in his hand like foaming at the mouth and shit, and nobody's doing anything. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I think the ending is definitely one of my favorite endings, just like of any movie too. Like I love just something like that where, like you said, it's very ambiguous. He's there. A big thing of like the movie Two Digs is like his daughter. He gave his daughter like a red whistle,
like a safety whistle.
Like a safety whistle, and that's the reason she went back to the house, is to find the safety whistle or whatever. So when he gets thrown down into the hole by the crazy lady after he gets fucking shot by her in the leg,
he finds the whistle.
He finds the whistle. He has like a little flashlight, and he finds the whistle. So when Detective Loki, when everything finally happens, like the daughter's fine, he's going back because they're like gonna excavate the house and blah blah blah.
Look for the dead bodies.
All like the people, like all the forensics people, like go home because the freaking ground is like frozen or whatever. And when all the machines finally turn off, all the noise goes down. He's just standing there. You just hear the regular like wind, in the trees, and you just hear like a slight like little whistle. And he like at first he like looks and he's like nah, like. Then he hears it again, and he like looks around, and again he's just like nah. Then he hears it a third time, and he like finally looks.
Pretty clear, yeah.
And then like the movie just ends with it like kind of closing up on his face like a little bit, and like so you don't know if you found him, you don't know like anything that happened. It's just like left to you like, what do you think? Do you think you found him? Do you think he didn't?
It's a
find
pretty
him?
good ending.
Yeah,
it's a chilling ending for sure. Yeah, I will say pretty unbelievable that he's alive that long afterwards. Yeah, because he's down there for like at least a few days, and he's like bleeding from his leg. Even if he tourniqueted his leg, like fool's for sure dead. No way he's alive.
It's the thing, man. The Lord works in mysterious ways. He finally, came to grips with his faith at the end.
If you ask me, I'm not even a religious guy. I don't think a good old Jesus Christ up there would be like, yeah, I'll save you, bro. Probably would have left that fucker to die.
Maybe. I don't know.
Fool tortured an innocent man. Not even just an innocent man, a victim of the same crime that he is trying to absolve. Like,
he just acknowledges God as his one true savior before he dies. He's good.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
That's the rule.
That's really all it is.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out Prisoners, go and check it out. I believe it's on Netflix, so you guys go and check it out there. It is on Netflix, yeah. So that's where I watch that shit.
Me too. You canceled Netflix? Yeah. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Yeah. I'm proud of you. That's the one subscription that I feel like we don't need anymore. Like, I think if Netflix went away, nobody would care.
I really don't use Netflix.
They took away
but like
free
everybody
trials
still has
too.
it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can't even make like a new email and just like,
and you can only get the $15 plan. If you get
that's the lowest price.
The $6 one has ads.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Damn, that sucks.
That's crazy because Netflix
then it's like,
never
why not just get
and they added it proactively. After
I remember that was like the big difference between Netflix and Hulu. It was like, oh, you can do Hulu for like blah blah blah, but you're gonna have to do ads.
Yeah,
fuck Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is kind of ass. The only thing I care about now is I'm waiting for Avatar. I want to see The Last Airbender live action, and I want to see Stranger Things 5. After Stranger Things is over, I am done with Netflix.
I'll pay $6 to watch Stranger Things
1 month
season
to
5.
binge it. Yeah,
because honestly, I'll pay $6 to watch Stranger Things for 5. It's like season 5.
I'm not watching Stranger Things with ads though.
No, fuck.
Couldn't do that. That would ruin it for me.
Yeah.
So
couldn't be me, man. Yeah. Couldn't be me.
But as soon as that's over, I don't care anymore. Like I'm done with Netflix as soon as Stranger Things is over.
Yeah, I'm done with Netflix.
That's it. That's the only thing I want to see Airbender, like I said, but
I've broken up with Netflix.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm really waiting for from them now. As soon as that's over, they don't have much.
Is Rebel Moon gonna be on Netflix?
Yeah, but I don't care about that.
I'm kind of down to see that.
I'll find it on Put Locker a month after.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Rebel Moon looks fine. It just looks like the Dark Star Wars knockoff to me, though. Yeah, which is essentially what it is. He pitched it to Lucasfilm, and they were no, and so he was like, "All right, fine, I'll make my own. Fuck you guys."
Make my own Star Wars.
Yeah, it looks fine.
He did a Star War.
I feel like it's probably just gonna be the same thing as like Batman versus Superman, where like he's taken something that is like a very simple, not trying to be high-minded thing, and like turn it into something more complicated. Which is fine, that's important to do every now and again. But I just happen to find some of the times that he does that to be a little pretentious, that's all.
Yeah.
And I don't like it very much.
He's like, I am Zack Snyder.
And I'm smarter than you. Your superheroes are actually dumb, and I'm going to make them cool.
He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a filter over my movie. And it's going to make it awesome.
Everything's going to be so grainy and dark and dried out. There's no color in this world.
He's like, remember when I made 300?
Just like 300.
Remember when I made 300?
300 and Watchmen?
Pretty much.
Fucking tight, bro. Those movies are great. I also
It's so crazy, though, that 300 is literally just the comic.
I didn't even know it was a graphic novel.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, again, right? Is that original?
It's crazy.
It's an adaptation.
I was at my homie's Mitchell's, and I think we were watching something on that. And like like the video was taking you like, oh yeah, here's this panel just in the movie. Here's this panel just in the movie. Cool. Here's this panel just in the movie.
I will say I do also like Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is cool.
I don't think I've ever watched that.
In a
really?
long time. Yeah.
Sucker Punch is cool. That's good. That's got good action in it. It's crazy. Yeah.
I remember the girl from Sucker Punch.
Super over the top, but it's good. It's fun.
But hell yeah. Shall we move on to the next?
Some Zodiacs.
Some Zodiac.
Let's do it.
Someone that I was like hella scared of when I was like growing up, for sure.
I think I am scared of the Zodiac every time I watch this movie. I get frightened of it. I don't think about it actively, but every time I see the movie, I'm like, oh yeah. I had a hard time.
First time we watched.
I had a hard time going to bed last night. I watched this at like 10.
I love.
So it wasn't over till like 1. I do too.
This movie's good. I wasn't as creeped. I wasn't as creeped out this time as like the last time I watched it. I remember being like, "Oh damn, this is pretty creepy." This time, I don't know, like not so bad. I think there's a lot of random moments in this movie for me where I feel like it is like randomly super lighthearted.
The second half of the movie.
It's a long movie, so it goes through like phases. It goes through like
And that's what's random to me, and especially like I don't know, like it opens up with like a super. I guess it's just because I probably just because I watched it after Prisoners and I was already in this like darkish like crazy mood. I think I was just already in that.
Yeah.
Right. And then when Zodiac opens up with like Jake Gyllenhaal and all that, and it's like a super upbeat song, I was just like, interesting.
Yeah. What does it open up with? It opens up with
I don't remember the song.
It opens up with a famous song too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I love that whole first scene of the first murder out there when he comes up behind them in the Mustang. Mm-hmm. That's the part that Daniel's terrified of, is the fucking part where he fucking shoots them, or he fucking comes up behind them with the flashlight and he bangs them both out, and then he fucking drives up the road and he calls and he goes, there's 2 teenagers, they were murdered point blank with a fucking da-da-da-da-da. He's I'm the one that did it. Yeah. And then he goes, goodbye.
Yeah.
And then he hangs up the fucking phone. That shit fucking...
That shit's creepy, and then it immediately switches up into, like, the upbeat, like, here's Jake Gyllenhaal at home with this kid. He's like, hey, kid, get ready for school. Don't swallow your toothpaste. And that was, that immediate vibe switch up was kind of... Yeah. It was a little bit too just sudden for me, because I was already in this, like, ooh, I'm already creeped out. Let's get down into this. And then it's just like, oop, let me switch up.
I think it's a choice so that you're not watching just... torment for basically 3 hours. Mm-hmm. It's a long, heavy movie, and I think any movie that's that long that doesn't change up its pace becomes too flat and stale, and the viewer will fall asleep most likely. I mean, it's a long movie, and even if you're not really that into it, you'll fall asleep watching the movie because it goes through moments of being really slow, then really like intense and like kind of standoffish, especially when you start getting closer to like, oh, maybe it's this person, maybe it's that person. I think also the horror in it for us is that all the locations are places that we know.
Oh yeah,
and that it's from areas that we,
so close to us.
Yeah, so close. I've been to all of these locations many times.
Far removed in time, right? But like, in terms of location.
When they're like,
a few decades.
These
ago.
People from Salinas, California,
got fucking stabbed,
figured out this cipher right here.
Yeah.
But did they though?
They did.
Kind of. Right? Yeah, kind of. They got close.
What I was telling Diggs is like I'm down for this movie. There's just a lot of like random, at least to me, right? Like vibe switch ups where it's just like it's hella dark and then it's just like lighthearted, and and I'm not that I'm not down for it. It is just kind of like an immediate switch up at some points, like the beginning, like Diggs was saying, like we have like the murder, he calls. Yeah. And everything, goodbye, all that stuff, and then it's just like
that's freaky.
Boom, Jake Gyllenhaal being a dad with this kid. Hey kid, don't swallow your toothpaste. Let's fucking go to school. Let's be late. Not that I'm not down for it. I think maybe just because I was telling Diggs like I watched this after Prisoners, so I was already in that like heavy dark mood, and then I think maybe just from Zodiac, I haven't watched it in a while. I think I just remember the like heavier darker parts, and I was kind of just in that like mind space of like, oh, this is going to be just crazy dark this whole time.
Maybe I'm reaching because I love this movie so much, but bear with me for a second.
Yeah, it is.
But like, I think what it does is like, so you have the main cast of it, but you have all the higher up, like the newspaper, the newspaper people, like the people that are high up there, and then the police people that are involved. But then you have Robert Downey Jr. and Jake Gyllenhaal are two very opposite person. One's the family man, the other one's fucking just
businessman, career focused.
Career focused, who just becomes worse and worse and worse. They both kind of become obsessed.
Oh yeah,
but Robert Downey Jr. fucking
a lot quicker
goes way down, and I think it kind of brings a sense of like kind of like the feel that everybody was like the way that everybody must have felt around that time, because everybody is a target. Because you don't know what the fuck is going on. Because there's just some psycho out there killing people.
Yeah.
You don't know who the fuck's going to be next. So everybody from the common family man to the kind of snooty, upright newspaper guy are fucking all involved in fucking chasing their own fucking tails, like worrying about what the fuck's going on.
I hear what you're getting at, because I also agree, because I was going to say is that, like, I actually agree with both of you. Because while I can agree that I don't think it works very well in the context of a movie, even as long as it is, because my main gripe with this movie is that the time jumps are too crazy for me. But I think that the tone change is intentional, because I think that is reflective of what it was like during that time. Is that these murders happened at different times. You started to forget about him, and then he killed somebody again and sent another letter in. So like, I think it's intentional. I just think that it doesn't work super well, because I will say this, that I think the second half of this movie is way better than the first half. After the 4-year time skip,
the meat and fucking meat and spaghetti right there.
After the 4-year time skip, where Jake Gyllenhaal is like, you know, after he gets with the other girl and has the kids, and like he's the main focus of the movie, I think that's the best part of the film. But like I said, I think I don't think it's successful, but I think it was intentional in that they were trying to capture the fact that like this fool killed somebody like once a year, or like twice a year, or like if he wasn't like
or so he said.
Sure, because maybe he was claiming other shit, right, or whatever. But
fool's false claiming out here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know as far as we know. But I think it was kind of intentional. But again, I don't know how well it worked, because it was just a little tough for me. I didn't care so much about the tone switches, but watching it this time, it was hard to spend only like 5 to 10 minutes at a time in each of these different time periods, because it's like, okay, the Zodiac kills somebody, and here's a 5-minute sequence of him killing them, and then you get 10 seconds of detective work a month later, and then we skip like 5 months, and then he kills somebody else in a 5-minute sequence, and then there's another 15 minutes of them trying to solve stuff with like 10 hours later. Like, it's a lot of jumping in the first half, and I think that is a bit of a detriment to it.
Also, what you really have to like establish before you watch the movie is that this is a true story. If you just watch this movie like randomly and you think it's something made up, you're like, well, what the fuck? What's going on here? Why is they just jumping around so much? Where like, if you know that it's a true story, you kind of get the excuse to be like, well, nothing happened until this point, so we're gonna skip to that point.
I think it also kind of like,
makes it more like,
it banks on like, it's gonna be a weird comparison, but it's like the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, in that they expect you to know what went down with Zodiac, so they don't do the groundwork of like, here's all of the steps that got you there. They're like, here's the highlights. You know the Zodiac story, probably one of, if not the most famous serial killer in existence. So like, you know the history. We're gonna hit the highlights for you, get you all of these dominoes to set up, so that second half is as satisfying as it is. Where Jake Gyllenhaal finally starts to put all these pieces together. What's his name? Robert Graysmith, I think.
Yeah.
Finally starts to weave all these threads together, and like, I mean, I don't know, but in the context of the movie, it seems like he fucking figures it out, you know? Like, who knows how true it was? They probably took liberties here and there with some stuff, because it is a movie after all.
Yeah.
But
apparently,
apparently
like the stuff with like Paul Avery like spiraling out of control and like his life going to shit like didn't happen. Apparently he was like actually like did some cool shit. He did die of like emphysema, but like I was watching a video and they're like, no, he didn't actually like.
I can see it. Yeah, I mean that for sure just works for the drama. Right?
Yeah,
like so.
Well, also the idea that homeboy, like the prime suspect guy, what's his name? Alan.
Lee Allen, something Lee Allen.
Yeah.
Arthur
like,
Lee Allen.
Arthur Lee Allen. The idea that like
no one
he's
calls
the
me
main...
Arthur.
Are we a murder podcast now, bro?
Hell yeah.
The fact that the idea that like the movie is pretty like at the end it's like this guy, because they have that moment at the end where they lock eyes and he's kind of like, I know. That's all just based off because the book blames that person. The book that was written was like, well, I think it was this guy.
And it was Robert Graysmith. So, of course, it's because our main character is Robert Graysmith, the author of the book. Like, that's where they're going to go. Yeah, so it
is a little bit of a bias take, but it doesn't take away from the weight of the movie.
No.
The movie is fucking heavy and
yeah. He makes a convincing argument. Like, I would say, for me personally, like, I'm sold.
It's certainly the most.
I don't know, man. I need to see him write his K one more time.
I know, huh? Fucking.
I need to see that K. It was a little too different for me.
One more time, dude. Yeah.
That part when he goes to that dude's house.
That's the creepiest part to me.
What was it like, Bob Vaughn or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, that was fucking creepy.
Creepiest part in the whole movie. That's the most creepy scene in the whole movie. The best part is just the turn where he's like so excited, like. Over the edge creepy for sure, right? Like Jake Gyllenhaal's already gone. Like he's already pissing off his wife and his family and stuff like that. But he's still kind of like happy-go-lucky or whatever. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I got to get the truth out there, blah, blah, blah. And he's like...
I need to see this guy's face. I need to look him in the eye and know that. He's like, no, I know.
I have the poster. I have his handwriting. He wrote him all the time. He's like, oh, no, Rick Marshall never did the posters. And he's like, but I have him right here. Yeah, he's like, I wrote him. He's like... Thank you for your time. I'm not going to take anything else really quick. And he's like, no, why don't you come down to the basement with me? It's like, oh, fuck no, bro.
The heaviness of silence in that fucking scene
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Fucking insane.
And then it's just, and then that fool's just creepy because like immediately when like, Robert Graysmith is like walking away, like he turns off the light immediately.
Yeah, and he's like running from the darkness.
And you like, but you see him like walking, and he like walks behind like a wall, and he's just like looking, and you're just like, oh okay.
He's got the creepy smile, and then you keep hearing the footsteps upstairs. Presumably,
there's someone here. There's someone else here.
Presumably Arthur Lee Allen.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, we don't know.
Heavy footsteps.
Rick
He's
Marshall.
a big guy.
Maybe, yeah.
Or Rick Marshall,
Who knows, yeah. But yeah, and then he's walking out the door, and it's like, there's got to be two killers. There's two of them. Blah, blah, blah. Like, they're spitting his theories out and shit. Yeah. Oh, so creepy.
It's probably the whole movie.
Probably the most effective scene in the movie to me. Like, that was for sure. I remember that was the one that got me when we watched it all those years ago. The other one that also got me the first time we watched it that didn't get me as bad this time but still creeped me out is the phone call on live TV. Because
I love that scene,
it's the scream. Oh, dude, that
voices
shit.
in my head.
Yeah, those were my headaches. Like, creepy shit. I liked it a lot. It's good.
Oh, good stuff, man.
Yeah, but I think the cast is really good. I like... I was telling Buddy this because like she fell asleep, but she watched the beginning of it with me, and as she usually does in movies that are over 2 hours long. But I love when movies portray cops the way that they portray Mark Ruffalo and his partner in the beginning, where they're just very fast talking, like, I'm the killer. So I got you here in the thing. I'm smart. I don't do this.
But why do I do that?
Yeah, he's like, all right, well, maybe I'm stupid, but you're not stupid because you remember to do the thing. Like that kind of like quick banter back and forth. I'm a sucker for that shit because it's very unrealistic. It's like super cartoony.
I like it, but I think that's what kind of, again, I think that's one of the things that sometimes would take me out is at times when the scene feels a little bit more serious, a little bit more dark. Those like sometimes he seems a little like comedic, like he's acting like in a comedic way, and I'm just like, like I'm down for it, but I don't know if I'm all the way down for it. Like, you know, when he's just like, crackers, you don't have any crackers? Does anyone have animal crackers?
I'm
just like,
animal crackers are fucking like, goated though. Those ones that
I'm like, you're investigating a murder and you're thinking about animal crackers right now?
I'd like it because I think the thing is it's like, I don't know that the movie is trying to be a tonal historical piece of like, this is what happened and this it's about the characters and the characters, even though they were real people, are caricatures of themselves. So to that extent I think it's effective, like in terms of the character work that they do, because it very much establishes who Mark Ruffalo's character is in like 5 seconds. And to me that's a very, very good character writing. If I can understand who a person is the first time I see them on screen, you fucking nailed it. Like that's 100%. Good shit. So I understand where you're coming from, but like I said, I don't know if that was necessarily the intention of the movie. So like, the tone is all over the place. But again, like I think that's kind of what they tried to do. Is they were like, these motherfuckers are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to find this guy, bouncing from moment to moment, emotion to emotion, like thing to thing. So I think they tried to capture that in the movie. But what's tough is that typically in a movie you want a consistent tone. At least that's what we've been like brainwashed into believing is a good movie, is that like that's what you need to have, right? And like who's to say if it is or not? That's opinion if you ask me, right? But because it doesn't follow that to a T, it feels rushed at times, and it feels fast, and it feels like it's moving all over the place too quickly, and even I felt that to a certain extent. But
well, it also just goes like I think it's just because nobody knows what the fuck happened.
No, even
this guy's never been caught. Nobody knows why. If it was more than one person, why he really did what he did.
Even if it wasn't Arthur Lee Allen at this point, he's presumably dead because he was committing these murders as an adult in the 70s. Yeah. So there's
so many theories that actually hold pretty good weight that it's like you don't know. So it makes sense that the movie's kind of all over the place because the person that wrote it
was all over the place.
Obviously, he didn't solve it, so he didn't fucking figure it out. He doesn't have the whole part of a story.
Yeah.
That's why the movie it just ends.
Yeah, but I will say he makes a pretty convincing argument.
Yeah,
by the end of it, I'm sold.
There's a reason that it's the popular opinion about how things went down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, especially when you tell me you haven't received a call ever since that dude died.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
like,
because also if nobody's figured it out, then you have to believe the guy that fucking went through it.
Got close enough. Yeah,
the guy that was there, the guy that was getting all the information at some point from him as well.
I think it's funny though because the movie does also cover its bases because like at the end they don't explicitly say like he never received a call again. The text is very careful and they're like Robert Graysmith claims he's never gotten a call since after he died or whatever. So like I think the movie even knows
maybe
this is a work of fiction. We're not trying to be like a historical
100%.
document or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, the movie is based on like the book that fool wrote.
Correct? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But even still, like I think they took liberties, like you said with the Paul Avery stuff, right? And like even other stuff that I'm sure is like minute, right? Like my favorite, because everybody does this, right? Even this movie, which is like this movie is based on true story or whatever. My favorite, and I think quite honestly the best version of that is in. Have you ever seen American Hustle before?
American Hustle.
American Hustle has the best version of that type of thing where it has that in the beginning, but what they say is some of this actually happened. And I think that's the best way to do it, which is like
that's always
when
fun.
you put the tagline at the top of your movie based on a true story, it sets an expectation, I think, that they're not going to live up to because it's a movie, right? They wrote a script for it. It's a story.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not a documentary.
It's entertainment.
Yeah. So it has its inconsistencies here and there for sure. But I don't think, for me, it didn't detract from the movie overall. It was just like minor gripes. I still like it a lot. I enjoyed watching this more than I enjoyed watching.
I'm probably gonna watch it again.
I mean,
I haven't watched it in a while, so now I'll probably go watch it again.
I think for me, again, I think most of it just stems from I watched Prisoners first, so I was already in that mode.
Also,
like,
same actor, dude.
Like
it's hard
ready
to
for some serious shit.
Yeah.
And it's like
it's a different movie.
Yeah, definitely different vibes.
It's a pop
but I like it.
Killer
but
movie.
honestly,
and I like how it captures like the obsession everyone fucking had with all this shit, and everyone was just like, I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. No, I'm gonna figure it out. Paul Avery's gonna figure it out.
Yep.
Robert Graysmith's gonna figure it out. Fucking Detective Toski's gonna fucking figure it out. All these people who
because you're just expecting resolve. Expecting, but it just doesn't have it. It just doesn't have it. But that's what makes it good.
It is. Yeah.
True.
The open-endedness of it is good. Yeah. I really, really like the time jump a lot. Not only for the fact that the final time jump, I should say, because there's a lot of them in the movie, but not only for the fact that the movie kind of finally like settles, but I also just like the slow reintroduction of all of the characters and where they're at, because obviously all of them are very involved in the case during the beginning part of the movie, and all the different police departments are working with each other, right? And then everybody abandons the case for the most part. And Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Graysmith is the only one on it, and he meets with Detective Toski, and again, very classic, like pre-2000s movie cop vibe of like, I can't tell you any of this. It's completely confidential, and I certainly can't tell you to go meet with so and so. Blah blah blah. Right? Like very classic.
I totally remember that. Every time I see that in a movie, I'm reminded of fucking The Incredibles. Remember when he's like, I certainly tell you to go down
in the
to
beginning,
fucking to 1300 fucking Oaks Boulevard. Fucking
yeah. So I like that vibe again. Talk like I'm a sucker for that old school kind of cop rather than like don't get me wrong, I still like a movie like End of Watch, fucking Jake Gyllenhaal again.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That is a good movie. Like it works for what it is, but like if I had to pick one, I would rather see like the like.
If I had to pick a Jake Gyllenhaal
I would rather
movie,
see
it's Nightcrawler.
Oh, I haven't seen that still.
What? That's a crazy
Never
one.
seen it before, yeah.
That's a fucking crazy one.
Dude, Nightcrawler,
It's good?
you have to watch that movie. That is a really fucking crazy movie.
Dang, we might have to stick on our Jake Gyllenhaal fucking vibe.
Yeah,
sure, I'm
handle
down.
that one next week, dude.
The whole rest of the year is us, The 13,
we're just doing Jake Gyllenhaal.
And then ended on Brokeback Mountain.
Wait, how many days of Christmas are there again in like the whole thing? What is it, like
25 days?
25 days of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Dang.
Shit,
Straight up. Straight up.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
You guys have seen that interview before, right?
Yeah. Are you talking about that proper pronunciation?
Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie
Gyllenhaal
Gyllenhaal are like Swedish, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's on Conan. He's like, people say your name wrong, right? Like they Hollywoodized it. And he's like, yeah, they do. But like it's easier. And they're like, well, how do you actually say it? And apparently the correct pronunciation is Jake Gyllenhaal. Gyllenhaal. Yeah, that's how you say it in like, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I really like the reintroduction of the characters because you get that. And then it's almost like they're like these like veterans, like these older heads at this point, and like Mr. Gyllenhaal's character is like the new. He's not a rookie on the case because he's been with it the whole time, but he's kind of taking front and center now. And so him going back and retracing all of the steps that we saw happen over the course of the movie, and like he's the one guy who takes all of the information that they got separately. Mm-hmm. And now that the commotion and the craziness has died down, he has a chance to really put them together and fit all the right puzzle pieces, presumably, is effective, I think. Mm-hmm. I like it a lot because it's almost like, yeah, damn, they almost had it. They almost had him, but there was just too much commotion and there was too much public like attention and just that it got lost in the sauce. Like too much was happening. So now all these years later that things have calmed down and it's not as loud in like the public eye and stuff like that, he has a chance to really put those threads together and create the whole picture. And I think it's pretty effective. I like it.
I thought it was funny how at the end, when they go back and interview like the initial dude in the beginning who got shot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just a completely different actor.
Yeah, 100%.
And they have to like show him in the yearbook to be like, oh yeah, it's this guy.
Yeah.
And they get.
Well, yeah, because the kid was. I mean, they presumably shot at the same time. The kid was like, it looked like he was actually like 20-something years old or whatever.
Yeah, but he's just like, a completely different actor.
I laugh because I know that actor from a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that fool's in One Tree Hill.
He's in It's Always Sunny too. Mm-hmm. The guy at the very end. He's also
not the guy at the end, but the guy.
Big Poyle? Am I remembering that correctly? He's the creepy incest brothers from It's Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He's Simon something. He's also in like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and he's in How I Met Your Mother too.
Yeah. He's the one who's got
these guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
the guy that played the young him is in One Tree Hill.
Oh, okay. I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I've never seen that show before. But yeah, the other actor who plays him later was recognizable to me. Yeah. And I thought that was funny too, because it's like,
because I didn't notice that the first time I watched it. I think the first time I had watched it, I'd never like really made the connection. But then this time I'm like, oh, he's supposed to be playing the first dude. He fully looks nothing like him. Yeah, that's hilarious.
I think that last scene is like a little bit unnecessary to me, because like at that point in the movie I'm already sold that it's Arthur Lee Allen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't need them to go back to the very first I mean, I get what they're doing because they kind of tie the button in terms of the movie, right? Because that was where the movie started, so the movie ends with the first character we saw killed or whatever by the Zodiac confirming it. But it just felt like a little bit like hitting me on the head with the information that I already had, because like I bought it when he's giving the info to Mark Ruffalo again, like all those years later when they're in the diner, and even Mark Ruffalo's like, you son of a bitch, you did solve it. Like, holy shit. Like at that point I'm already good. Even more so when, like you mentioned earlier, he gets his wish and he stands there, looks him in the eyes and knows that it's him. Again, I'm fine. I don't need them to come back again and be like, can you identify this man? And he's like, it was him this whole time. It's like a little innocent.
I'm 80% sure.
Yeah.
But I know. Yeah. This is the guy that shot me.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's over. And that's it. And then we get the little text of like, where are they now? Kind of vibes and stuff like that.
It almost makes you like, why didn't you guys just do that like?
Well, because he left. They couldn't find him. That was the whole thing.
Right.
He skipped town.
Right.
he went
Skip
missing.
town, man.
I was laughing because again, I watched this with Buddy, and there was like a couple of times where like she was like, "How did they never catch him?" And I was like, "Well, for one, he's a smart ass serial killer because he's not like keeping a pattern of stuff. Like he's changing up the way he does stuff all the time. Blah 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 blah." And she's like, "Yeah, but like I feel like there was like cameras that they could have looked at. Blah blah blah. This and that." I was like, dude, this happened in the 70s. Yeah. Like there was not that technology
late
yet.
60s to
like,
early
the
70s.
technology was not there yet. Like that's probably the main reason why he got away with as much as he did. Like I don't know, maybe, but I don't know that like somebody could be as blatantly in your face about that stuff. I'm not gonna jinx it because holy shit, let's not put that energy in the universe. But I feel like in today's modern technology of like watching your every fucking move and like kind of stuff or whatever, it'd be a lot harder to pull off. But
yeah, because there's so much like on the internet of like for instance, there was this incident that happened where this dude was riding like a motorcycle with his motorcycle fucking group or whatever, and this dude just got way too just like out of hand, and like there was a car that was just parked in traffic, and the dude got off his motorcycle and like kicked in the back window, and like people were like, "Who is this person?" Because he had the helmet on and everything.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like literally, like people like looked at his shoes and like found the fucking dude. Like they just saw like they literally saw like the smallest. They saw the smallest portion of the shoe from like a shitty camera angle, and they're like, "Oh,
yeah, the internet's too powerful."
Guy.
Yeah, it's definitely partly also due to the times and stuff like that as well. But and the mania and the craziness surrounding like,
who knows? Maybe there are serial killers and we just don't know.
Well, I mean, there definitely are. Yeah, it still happens. But like, I don't think it's. There was a insane influx.
I don't hear about serial killers.
No,
man.
there was one.
They don't exist.
There was one they were talking about the other day that was relatively close around here, like Salinas area or some shit like that.
Well, the other thing too I was gonna mention is it's like there back then too there was like an insane amount of them that were incredibly
a lot of unstable people just not getting help
word.
Back then in the 70s too, just fucking going nuts on fools.
That's true. But yeah, like that's where all of the famous serial killing, like, I mean, I don't want to say icons, but famous serial
the greats.
Killers. I mean, they have
all the greats, the Mount Rushmore.
Unfortunately,
all the famers.
Unfortunately, with the way that we have decided to,
Jeffrey Dahmer,
immortalize
the Night Stalker, Zodiac.
Kind of crazy.
Ted Bundy.
We have immortalized
Bundy,
every single one of them
Son
in
of Sam.
both documentaries, podcasts, movies, whatever it might be. Kind of crazy.
Interesting.
To me.
the brain of a fucking psychopath is interesting to people though too, because it's like what drives someone to do something that's so immoral, like that some people can't even fathom think about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, like I mean, some people can't even talk about something like a movie like this, let alone like
I just think it's funny.
Or sometimes there's people that are just like born, like they're in the cases that you have the people that are just born that way, where they're like, since this kid was like a child, he's like
always
just
been kind of messed up.
Yeah, he's like just loved to like murder little birds and stuff like that.
That stuff exists, dude. That stuff exists a lot more than you think it does.
But like you said though too, there's more
weird shit out there in the world. There's way that people are and stuff like that. With stuff that goes down, it's like some serious like Jesus. It's a combination of like people like being insane and just like malicious evil that literally just lives out there in the world. Yeah, I see a lot of weird fucking shit, man. Like it's
like you said too. Though it's like there's a lot more. There's a lot less stigma around mental illness now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, even like in the 2000s and like the 90s and stuff, like you'd just be written off as fucking crazy.
A lot
and
of
nobody wanted to deal with you.
Just because people were insane.
Yeah, mentally insane. Exactly.
People,
yeah.
You know, people talking to demons and shit, just schizophrenic people talking to
exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I've heard that shit when people are schizophrenic and they do that voice swap shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just
you do not want to hear that shit, dude.
It's funny to me because it's like the thing that I always think about is it's like, yes, it is a fun or an interesting thought experiment or an interesting or an exciting or an unfathomable thing for us to like pick at, but like fuck, man, this shit really happened to people, and we're fucking making movies about it and documentaries and like profiting off of it. And it's like, how do the victims and the victims' families feel about this type of stuff? And is it really moral to make this kind of shit? Because it's like you're profiting off of something that is very, very fucking bad,
They made
bro.
a 9/11 movie.
That same, I would not want to watch that.
Isn't it
like,
Michael Pena in that movie or something like that?
There's a few.
There's a few famous.
You know what
people
I
in that
just
movie.
learned the other day? I didn't know this because I remember being
Shawshank Redemption.
a weird memory that I have as a kid is I think I was in the room when the Oscars were on the year that Crash won, the movie with Matt Dillon. Apparently that's a movie about 9/11. Never fucking knew that. I thought it was just about some people that crashed on the highway, but it's like a bunch of interconnected stories that happened during 9/11.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crash.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. It's such a trip to me. It's such a popular thing, arguably one of the most popular forms of media with like, there's tons of murder podcasts out there that delve into like a different story every week. There's tons of movies, tons of documentaries and stuff like that. It's like, should we really be putting that stuff out there like that? I don't know. It's not for me to decide, but I certainly have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
And it's that, no, we shouldn't.
Sketch, man. It's fucking crazy.
Crazy stuff, man.
Sketchy stuff.
But yeah, Zodiac used to always scare me as a kid because I was like, damn, this fool's just out there.
It's too close to home, bro.
Yeah, this fool's out there.
Real
No one's
close.
ever caught him.
Yeah.
Dude,
He just roll up.
we definitely drive on the same highways this dude used to
He would,
commute on.
if Arthur Lee Allen was truly the Zodiac, he was alive when we were born. That fool didn't die till 2000, right? Is that what they say? That's when he had the heart attack?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. He's alive for 3 years. Two or 3 years. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
God damn.
weird. I don't know.
Crazy. And again, the location of it all is just too freaky. Like, you
Napa.
see Salinas, California, Napa, Vallejo. It's like, damn,
San Francisco.
we've been to all of those places. It's crazy. And what's crazier and scarier still is that, like, we have probably been in one of, if not all of the situations that the victims were, which was like, yeah, you're going out for a date on like a lover's lane out there, or you're out by a lake with your girl,
All
whatever
too
it might
often
be.
on dates
Yeah.
where I am driving at I always think
It's too
about this
freaky.
movie.
You're like, oh shit,
I'm like,
dude.
what's wrong with you? Why do I always gotta think about this
It's
fucking movie, dude?
it's hardcore, dude. It's
You're
too
like,
close
hey, you
to
know what's
home.
crazy right now? We could get murdered.
Yeah, it's too close to home, dude. Scary. Scary shit.
You're all on a date. You're like, wow, this scene really. This is like.
This is,
You ever watch Zodiac?
You're like, I remembered this from something. What's that? Yeah.
But honestly, it's happened a couple times. Like when they have watched Zodiac, and you can talk about it. It's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, sure.
It's a good movie, man. People,
is
it's a good movie. I think it's a really good movie. I love that.
No, yeah, it's solid.
I do too. I think it's good.
I give it like an 8.
Yeah.
This one gets
Iron
a 9
Man,
for
Hulk,
me.
and Mysterio, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was,
Also, I'd probably give it like a 9. I give it like a 9 just because I like it. But realistically, that's probably like an 8.
yeah, if I'm being a harsh critic of it, I could probably even give it like a 7.5. Because again, I think the first half of the movie just moves really fast.
Yeah.
And then the second half is where it gets really, really good.
Yeah.
But because of this was like probably one of the first, not scary, because I don't think it's like a horror movie, but
It's like a
Psychological thriller.
Psychological
one of
thriller,
the
yeah.
first things of just the genre that is not happy-go-lucky that I probably watched, because he knows this, and I've told you this before, but like it took me a long time to get into that kind of stuff. So this one just has like
Welcome to
left
the
a
dark
mark
side.
on me. Yeah, it's just left an imprint on me.
You know what it really was too for me? It took me to realize that like dark entities and stuff look cool drawn out.
Oh, like the sketches.
Once I
and
was
stuff
like,
that?
oh, dude, but like demons and shit, like in crazy mosaic artwork,
Oh yeah, yeah.
look fucking dope.
Like you gotta
And
admit,
so-
when he draws the Zodiac in his full like get up and shit like that,
Yeah.
Evil shit
it looks pretty
cool.
sick.
Looks like a
pretty
solid
fucking
villain.
dope.
Like it's
Yeah.
just a good villain design. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
always something that I like to think about when I get a little bit too freaked out. I'm like, oh, but that looks cool. How
Yeah.
cool is that? Though?
The art of it is
How
still
cool
there.
is that, you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, But
Crazy shit, man.
good stuff.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, guys, Zodiac, go check that shit out if you
Seriously.
haven't. Go look some shit up on the Zodiac Killer if you haven't. That
Lock all
shit's
your doors
crazy.
and get under a
Yeah.
blanket and watch.
Hide
probably
your
do
kids,
that, yeah.
hide your wife, hide your husband,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah,
Hide your Jesus.
hide your Jesus.
No.
Hide your
Actually,
faith.
don't hide your Jesus. Like, take your
Keep
Jesus
your
out.
Jesus out, bro.
Yeah, keep your
I was
Jesus
just thinking
with
about
you.
the
Put your
rest of that
Jesus
song.
on full front.
Exactly. Wear your
Jesus
Jesus
on
on your
front.
sleeve.
Wear your Jesus on your sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Anything else for our lovely audience out there before we skedaddle on out of here?
Just, be careful.
Yeah.
Keep on keeping
This shit
on.
really happens
Lock your
in real
doors.
life. Yeah, like
Yeah,
you
man,
said.
be careful.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah.
Check your surroundings.
Actually, yeah.
But
actually
don't
be
let
careful.
it. Don't
Somebody
let it go.
got fucking shot at my work the other day, bro.
Ugh.
At the Ice Cube concert.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. It's a dangerous world out
Watch
there.
yourselves, man.
The most dangerous game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the whole one
Most
of them
dangerous game, right.
connections.
There you go.
Yeah.
Low-key, pretty
Good
fire
one,
book
man.
though.
I never read it before.
I should read it.
Read it. I think we reread it in. I think I was a freshman in high school,
I think you told me about it before.
and I was like, "Damn, this
On the
is pretty
podcast,
fucking
yeah.
crazy."
Dangerous
Yeah,
game.
Yeah.
yeah. Literally, a dude just
Hunting people.
Has an island, waits for people to crash land on it, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna hunt you because." So it was like he's like Kraven the Hunter, basically.
Yeah,
literally. That's what I thought when I watched the movie. I was like, "Oh, he's Kraven."
Yeah.
Or Kraven is this guy. Kraven probably took inspiration from him.
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that was episode number 80.
Okay.
You know where to check us out. Instagram and YouTube, 2HIGH4TV, 2OHIGH4TV. And that's the number 4, motherfuckers. That's the number.
How many episodes you guys have?
This is 80, bro. We're on 80 right now.
80.
This is 80.
Damn.
We're getting close. 100's going to be very special.
Yeah, what are you guys going to fucking
We
do?
don't know yet.
We're going to revamp the studio.
We were talking, we're going to take a break over Christmas, at least for a week,
yeah, nice.
and redo everything.
and do some stuff.
Make
so
some
that we're
space.
ready.
Yeah, get some better stands.
The
that
clip
just, like,
ones?
The clip ones.
Yeah.
that
The ones
are
you
like
see
the
on professional
arm,
podcasts.
So that
Yeah.
we can just kind of
The
chill.
long arms.
Yeah.
So you could be chilling back here.
Yep.
So you
Because you
could
look
change-
comfortable. You look comfortable.
he
like
always
that.
does.
That's why I don't ever mind
I
not
know.
having the stand, because this is way better.
Yeah,
than that.
yeah.
You guys should try taking them off the stand sometime.
I always
I'm
try,
down.
but then I feel like taking it off during the thing is too
Well,
much
the
noise
other
and
thing
stuff.
too that I've it only works since I've stopped smoking on the podcast, because it's probably a pain in the ass to try and roll something, and then if you want to say something, you got to pick your microphone back, like that kind of vibe.
Yeah, sure.
So, but that'll make it easier, because then it's hands
hands-free.
free and it's still comfortable. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or just get like an overhead mic.
We could do that too. Yeah.
You just don't have to have these at all. You just,
We can have both. Then we have tighter audio, and then we have group audio.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll
We'll
make
just
a
get,
wish list.
We'll just get us.
Super
We'll just like get like the battery packs and get us all like mic'd up. Like
We can just get lapels. We don't even need to be batteried. They can go in there, and then we can be completely hands free.
just wear mics.
Try some different stuff. Yeah.
That would be fun.
We got to figure out something mobile too.
oh,
you
yeah.
guys can do
Take it
stuff
on the
go.
road.
Yeah.
Just something, couple
That'd be
episodes
fun.
here and there. Get out of the house, do
An
something
episode,
different.
an episode live.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, something. We've always wanted to. We just haven't found the
From San
right
Francisco or some
occasion.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That'd be
guys.
cool.
That's what we got to do. Cause like, yeah, I just went to LA
Maybe
this
you guys
weekend
go
and it was
see the
fucking fun, dude.
Zodiac.
yeah. That'd be a good one. Is we take a trip, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
take a trip.
Yeah.
Go do some shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring the pod along with us.
Go to some like comedy shows and shit like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. Try to catch a couple interviews here and there.
Hell yeah.
Get some
Maybe,
shout
yeah.
outs from maybe some upcoming comedians or something. Who knows?
Hell yeah.
Be like, hey, we really liked your set. Can you shout us out really quick, dude? Who are you? We're a podcast. Get your name out there.
Yeah.
Do we have followers?
Are you
Not
okay?
a lot, but
Not a lot.
but hey,
let
you
us
never
know.
Are you
know.
okay with the indulgence
we
of
will.
marijuana?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I'm sure you are.
The hell yeah, guys. That was episode 80.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck.
That was nice. I liked
And
it.
yeah, follow us on all the shit. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all that motherfucking fun stuff.
all that jazz.
All that jazz. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Do it now.
Say
No,
it.
it's okay.
Say
What?
No, it's too late.
Say
You
it.
already signed off.
Say
That's
it.
the end of it.
Say
It's
it.
gonna be an extra soundbite.
Say
That's the
it.
end of it.
Just so we have it.